Pittsburgh Sports Live is presented by Crawcan, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get gigabit, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas, with Crawcan. To learn more about Crawcan's no-nonsense pricing and multi-gig internet, check out ckt.net. Good evening, everybody. Welcome out to Overland Park, Kansas. We're here at Shawnee Mission South High School getting set for tonight's matchup between the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons and the Shawnee Mission South Raiders. I'm Josh Lettner. Alongside me tonight, the long arm of the law, J.J. Carlinger. And J.J., Dragons got through a tough road test in week one, coming out on top 21-14 over Emporia. But this week, another tall order taking on this 6A squad from here in Shawnee Mission South. Size was an issue last week. I don't expect that to be any different this week.
No, definitely looking down at the Shawnee Mission kids right now, they look every bit as big as what we saw last week, and there's several here that are a lot bigger. So, but hey, we could equal out their bigness with toughness and meanness on our part, right?
That's right. And for those of you who weren't able to join us last week, the Dragons went on the road to Emporia and defeated the Spartans 24-14 in a game that had a lot of turnovers and miscues, but the Dragons able to overcome a kind of a size disadvantage as well as some turnovers to take control of that game in the fourth quarter, outscoring Emporia 10-0 in that fourth quarter to pull away and get the win. But tonight against this Shawnee Mission South squad, you think that the Dragons need to get a little bit more production in the first half than they were able to get last week. And it's going to be tough because, again, you're going up against bigger opponents used to playing 6A schools here in the metro area. And for Pittsburgh High, I would think that, you know, it doesn't all hang on the winning and the losing of this one game. You want to see improvement across the board, and you want to see guys continue to fight the entire game. You're just kind of looking for a rising tide, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, that's a lot of what Coach Latt said, too. Is that's what he's looking for, is improvement from week 1 to week 2. And, of course, from week 2 to week 3 and so on. That's what you want from your team. We have a good chance of seeing that tonight. What we have is what I like to say is experience of the Raiders versus the potential coming from the Dragons side. And we'll see which one of them is going to step up and what's going to, as they clash, what's going to come out on top.
And we mentioned Dragons coming in at 1-0. Shawnee Mission South coming into the game 0-1. They're coming off a 35-24 loss at Olathe North last week. And last season, the Raiders finished just 1-8 on the season. But that one win came back in last September in Pittsburgh when they topped the Dragons 33-15 back on the 13th of September last year. And so Pittsburgh High had a hard time with them last year. We'll see if the results any different this year. But Pittsburgh is the smallest school. If you look at Shawnee Mission South's schedule, we're the smallest school they're going to see all year long. And so, again, the words that really Coach Latimer pushed in our interview last weekend and probably in his conversation with you is improvement from week 1 to week 2 and grit and determination. That's what he's looking for, toughness in his team, whatever your word, their synonym for that is. But when you're talking about Shawnee Mission South, they're led by a dual-threat quarterback, Solomon Hirsch, 6 foot, 185-pound senior, and then tight end Drake DeBon. He just jumps off the field at you when you're standing down here looking at people warm up. He's number 87 for Shawnee Mission South. He is a Iowa State commit to play for the Cyclones next year, so that lets you know a Division I talent across the line of scrimmage tonight from the Dragons. Sorry, we were talking about Pitt State earlier. So going to have the work cut out for them. The defensive backs for Pittsburgh are going to have to play a really good game tonight.
Definitely. And,
you know, that line up front, you can't let them gash you in the running game because then everybody starts creeping up, opens up opportunities in the pass game. But when you're talking about a dual-threat quarterback and a very capable tight end, it's going to be a defensive challenge tonight for the Dragons, and we'll see how they react to it. But this is the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show brought to you by, guess who? Community National Bank and Trust, your neighbors, your partners, and your biggest supporters. From personal and business and banking to mortgages, credit cards, and investments, CNB has the tools you need with the services you deserve. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust, where community comes first. We'll step away for a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the other games going on around the state of Kansas this week, take a look at some of the scores from last week as we move forward through the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show towards kickoff from here in Overland Park. The Dragons and the Raiders coming up on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawl Can's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawl Can. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
It's the rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The rush is why we need a plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
Welcome back to the campus of Shawnee Mission South High School in Overland Park, Kansas, getting set for tonight's matchup between the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons and the Shawnee Mission South Raiders. And this one of just, 100 or so games going on across the state of Kansas tonight. But first, before we look at tonight's lineup, let's take a look at some of the scores from last week. As, again, about 160 games last week. Nobody cares about them all, right? So we'll just pick a sprinkling of ones that you may have a abstract interest in. All right, Frontenac topped Galena last week 49-6 in Frontenac. St. Thomas Aquinas, the number 1 ranked team in Class 5A, beat Blue Valley West 21-0. Circle High School traveled into Coffeyville, Field Kindley, put it on the Cyclones 55-8. And in a rivalry game over in Labette County, Labette County traveled into Parsons and defeated the Vikings 26-6. Southeast hosted Fredonia Elk Valley. They come out on top with the win 6-0. And Chanute hosted Augusta. They get the win 22-6. And in big news from the old CNC League down in Cherokee County, Baxter Springs 29, Riverton 18. So Baxter Springs undefeated to start the year. Don't get to say that very often. Marmaton Valley topped Oswego 44-25. I believe that's 8-man. Oswego plays 8-man, I believe, yes. And then Uniontown fell to Blue Stem at home 30-24. And then a game that, may not have playoff implications or much of anything, but Prairie View defeated Osawatomie 71-6. And it sounds like a horrible loss for Osawatomie, but in fact I think it's a bit of a win because they fielded a team this year. They weren't able to field one last year, so just having enough kids out to have a team to play your schedule, that's a win if you're Osawatomie. Iola fell to Baldwin 46-0. In the other 8-man action, St. Paul defeated Northeast 52-18. Columbus fell to Independence 54-34. Paola defeated Fort Scott 34-6. Colgan shut out Girard 28-0 at Hutch Field. And Caney Valley shut out Humboldt 38-0. And in what historians are dubbing the Butler County Massacre, Andale traveled into El Dorado and defeated them 104-0. And I think when that game was over, they officially rolled up Main Street in El Dorado, and everybody may have moved away. But those are your scores from around the state of Kansas. We'll take another quick break. We come back. We'll get you your keys to the game, some of the games going on tonight around the state of Kansas, along with the starting lineups for both squads, all that coming up on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Selling equipment can be a hassle, whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire. The time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
Welcome back to the campus of Shawnee Mission South High School in Overland Park up here in the KC metro area as the Pittsburg Purple Dragons getting set to take on the Shawnee Mission South Raiders. And we talked earlier about the size advantage and the numbers advantage that comes along, I would think, with being a larger school coming into this game, JJ. But Coach Latimer seems to think the Dragons have a really good plan coming into this game. And looks on the field like they're going to need a pretty good one to overcome some of the size that Shawnee Mission brings into this game. But I guess it's time to talk about your keys to the game, JJ, which are brought to you by Vietti Auto Body and Alignment in Pittsburg on the corner of 4th and Joplin since 1948 with John Holland and Bill Hunt now in the Vietti Alignment Shop. If it can be aligned, they will align it. From golf carts and side-by-sides all the way up to F550s and small buses, they'll get it done. Schedule your appointment by calling Vietti Auto Body and Alignment, 620-231-6230. JJ, your keys to the game.
So for me, a big addition that we see coming back this week, Damaris Partee. He's returning to the lineup. He had 66 tackles last year, 20 tackles for a loss, and 8 sacks. We missed that last week, obviously. However, Alex Hinspeeder stepped in, filled in fantastic for Damaris. But I think two things, defense-wise, we're going to need power, we're going to need pressure, and the two guys that are going to provide that, their last names both start with P. Pinamani and Partee. Listen for those names. I got a feeling you're going to hear them a lot tonight.
And this game tonight, just one of 164 games, again, going on across the state of Kansas. We know, don't care about all of them, but here's some that might be of interest. Mill Valley at 1-0 is on the road in Missouri at Lee Summit North. They are 2-0 on the season. And then down in eight-man action, 1-0 St. Paul is at 0-1 Oswego. Coffeyville at 0-1 travels to 1-0 Chanute. They're pretty tough again this year, I do believe.
Yep.
And then a battle of winless teams. Humboldt at 0-1 is at 0-1 Cherryvale. Southeast at 1-0 travels into Missouri to take on Diamond. They are 0-2 this year, but those Missouri teams get like an extra couple weeks of practice.
Correct.
And their season starts sooner, and I always think that a graduate coming out of Missouri has an entire year's worth of practice and game experience over a kid who graduates from Kansas just because of the practice rules. Anyway, off my soapbox. Frontenac at 1-0 is at 1-0 Colgan. That's a big rivalry game it's a friendly rivalry. It wasn't always so friendly. But I seem to remember it being unfriendly, but everybody's more civilized these days. Winfield at 0-1 is at 1-0 Labette County, and the Dragons will see them next week in Altamont, so that's one to keep an eye on. Afton, Oklahoma, yet to play a game, takes on the undefeated Baxter Springs Lions in Baxter tonight. Parsons and Fort Scott, both 0-1, take each other on this week. 1-0 Erie hosts 1-0 Caney Valley. And Girard and Riverton, both winless so far, will play tonight in Riverton. And winless Columbus takes on winless Galena in Galena tonight. And then Northeast travels to Colony to take on Crest High School. Vikings are 0-1. Crest is 1-0. Iola, 0-1 on the season, welcomes in Wellsville. They are 1-0. And Independence, 1-0, welcomes in 0-1 Mulvane. So those are the games going on around the area tonight, but the one we care most about is about 14 and a half minutes away from kickoff, here in Overland Park as the Dragons get set to take on the Raiders. We'll step away for another break. When we come back, we'll talk starting lineups as we're getting closer and closer to kickoff from here in Overland Park. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburgh.
When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused on providing quality lab work that is accurate and timely. MagLab's walk-in service typically gets you in and out in under 5 minutes with same-day results. Locally owned and operated, MagLab takes most insurances, including Medicaid, and has historically had the lowest out-of-pocket prices. So when it comes to having labs drawn, don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
It's the rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The rush is why we need a plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
Welcome back to the OP. Getting set for kickoff of tonight's matchup between the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons and the Shawnee Mission South Raiders. I'm Josh Leonard, alongside me JJ Carlinger, and it's time to start talking about tonight's starting lineups. The band getting ready to take the field here in their pregame show, and we do want to let you know that our starting lineups are brought to you by the power of positive thinking. And JJ, I'm going to need you to believe with me that someday soon we'll have a sponsor for these starting lineups.
I believe.
All season long across all of our broadcasts. If you like what we're doing and you want to show your support for the Dragons, visit varsitysportslive.com/sponsorships. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
All right. All right, tonight starting for the Dragons, number 1, 6'3" senior wide receiver Danny Durden. Number 2, senior 5'10" receiver Cortland Jones Jr. At quarterback, number 7, 6'1" junior Christian Krogan. At tight end, number 14, 6'2" senior, 225 pounds, Cole Hayden. At wide receiver, number 21, senior 5'10", Malachi Meadows. At running back, 6' senior, Malcolm Riley. At the other tight end spot, 6' senior, Mason Benson. And up along the line, we have number 55, 5'8" junior, Logan Southern. 5'10" junior, Alex Henspeter. 5'9" senior, J.C. Patterson. And 6'2" sophomore, Dawson Mooney. And we're going to have to wait on that Shawnee Mission South starting lineup. I got to go down the hall and make sure that I'm correct on some of those, but we'll get those to you coming up. We may have to do it as we go. And
But they do have a starting lineup.
They do. They do. And I imagine most of their players are on the roster. So we're going to have a heck of a broadcast here tonight from Overland Park. And it's a really nice facility here.
It is.
A beautiful press box. And it's also about 90 degrees.
It is. It's a bit warm. Large band presence.
Yes. Look at that. We were commenting earlier that they're really good numbers in the band, and they sound good. So,
now you said you were a trombone player.
Well, in name only.
You dabbled.
Yeah, I dabbled. Yeah, nothing anybody wanted to listen to. Just ask my parents; they had to put up with it. So we're about 9 minutes away from kickoff here in Overland Park. We'll take this opportunity to take our final break of the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. When we come back, kickoff from here in Overland Park. The 1-0 Dragons taking on the 0-1 Raiders when we come back on Pittsburg Sports Live.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawl Can's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawl Can. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Chicken Annie's Girard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Girard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Girard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Girard indeed. A heroic value, superb flavor. When there's a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Chicken Annie's Girard.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburg.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Welcome back to Shawnee Mission South High School in Overland Park, getting set for kickoff tonight between the Pittsburg Purple Dragons and the Shawnee Mission South Raiders. This is the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. We've gotten you your keys to the game, talked about some of the games going on across the state of Kansas tonight. Football season is in full swing on this Friday night in the fall. It's a beautiful but warm night tonight, and JJ, last week we saw cramping kind of become an issue for the Dragons later in the game, and it was 57 degrees.
Right.
And tonight, quite a bit warmer. You got to think the coaching staff is going to try and get on that one early and keep these guys fresh throughout the game.
Yeah, I think Coach Latt and the rest of the staff probably had some pretty decent conversations with them regarding proper hydration.
Right, and you can't, the secret to hydration is you can't do it in the moment. You got to do it in advance. So hopefully these guys drinking a lot of water when they woke up this morning, because they're going to sweat it out here tonight on this field, and it is warm. As we're getting set for the coin toss, captains for both squads getting set to meet at midfield, and the Dragons, this just the first of 3 road games to start out the season at Emporia, here tonight at Shawnee Mission South, and then next week on the road in Altamont to take on Labette County. And so the Dragons won't play at Hutch Field until the 26th of September, when they welcome in their rival, the Fort Scott Tigers. So you think in tonight's game, and you just want to get out of this one healthy and ready to enter into what was traditionally your local league schedule, even though the Dragons aren't really part of a league anymore. But getting out of this one healthy's got to be a key for the coaching staff here.
Yeah, you're road tested, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they are without a doubt road tested. So I know these guys are looking forward to getting back to their home stadium and getting involved with their more local rivalries. But they are fired up for tonight, I can tell you that.
Hey, Pittsburg, Fort Scott, always a bitter rivalry, has been for, 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And Altamont, a year-in, year-out rival for the Dragons as well. Shawnee coming up on the schedule. You know that they're always a challenge. And a much improved team over the last couple decades there in Shawnee. And the Dragons have had their hands full with them in the recent history. And so tonight's game, a big challenge, but just one of many coming up down the road this season. We'll have all those for you here on Pittsburgh Sports Live. And we're excited to bring this one to you here tonight.
I was really impressed with Christian Kogan last week. It's his first varsity start this week, obviously his second. I can count to 2, so that's doing pretty good so far.
Well, you're better than me now.
But I'm really excited to see how he progresses this week and see how he delivers the ball. Last week, the Dragon defense really wasn't tested in the secondary. I would expect that this week they're going to see much more test to what their abilities are, especially with your big tight end Drake DeBon, also Jared Sickhout from he's playing tight end and wide receiver. He's 6'1". Drake DeBon is, what did we say, 6'6"?
Yeah.
I mean, he's tall. He's pretty tall guy.
Yeah.
So they're going to have their hands full, but Dragons make adjustments. I think we're going to be all right. Just like we talked about with Coach Latimer, they have a good game plan. Let's see how it goes for them.
Well, I was shuffling through my mountain of paperwork here. I didn't see the coin toss. I believe Shawnee Mission South won the toss and elected to defer. The Dragons will kick off to start things tonight. And
Armando Rueda to kick. He had a great game last week.
Yeah.
Made a field goal, made
Like
all
a
those
35-yarder,
PATs.
yeah. Our opening kickoff is brought to you by B&B Excavating. The numbers don't lie. Dirt's heavy. Rocks are heavier. So trust the guys. It's just science.
That's right.
Trust the guys at B&B Excavating to move what needs moving. Specializing in septic systems, water line install and repair, driveways, rock hauling, and leveling. Call B&B Excavating, 620-724-2735. We're ready to kick it off. And it's away. It's going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So Shawnee Mission South will start at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
I mean, anytime you don't allow a kick return for a touchdown, that's a positive start. We got
You're a bare minimum kind of guy, aren't you? Like,
hey, you look.
Nothing caught fire.
No, nothing caught fire. No touchdowns returned so far. Things are looking good for the Dragons.
0 fatalities.
That's right.
Great. So they're going to come out in a pass formation, 3 wide to the near side. DeBon is inside there in the slot as the tight end. The snap to Hirsch, low and in front of DeBon. It'll fall incomplete and bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, number 8, Dawson Hall was right there. Had DeBon caught that, I think Dawson was going to light him up pretty good. Dawson, he's got a motor, and he likes to hit it. We saw him play last week. He had a couple of big hits, so I would expect to see him, as they say, lay some wood this week.
So 2nd down and 10, and again, 3 wide to the near side, 5 wide in this set. Hirsch in the gun. Here's the snap. Back to pass. Looking towards DeBon. Now he's going to tuck it run. We said he was a dual threat quarterback. And he picks up about 8 yards there on 2nd down. Will bring up a 3rd and 2.
Number 2, Cortland Jones, able to get around there and get him stopped before he gets the 1st down. Lining up quick. They are going with definitely a quick set here.
3rd and 2 in the pistol. Handoff straight ahead. This is Marquand Washington, and the Dragons get a stop there on 3rd down. And Washington really he had to make a man miss in the backfield, and it stopped his momentum and unable to pick up the 1st. It'll bring up a punting situation for the Raiders.
Good start. Cole Hayden kind of led the charge in on that with the entire rest of the defense falling behind him.
I believe DeBon punts. Yep, he does, and he's going to do a little rub. No, he's going to keep it, try and find the corner, and he does. Dragons lose contain on the edge, and DeBon out near midfield to about the 49-yard line, picks up a 1st down on the fake punt run, and the Dragons just fooled on that one, didn't see it coming, and then DeBon with enough speed to get around the corner.
Yeah, we got a chance to see DeBon's leg a little earlier when they were warming up, and the kid can punt. He was booting it all the way into the end zone. Of course, not what you want to do, I guess, on your punt team, but from where he's at, he can move the ball for him. He can be a weapon for this Raider team.
Call it a gain of 21 for DeBon. Brings up a 1st down and 10 at the Raider 48. And again, Hirsch in the pistol with Washington in the backfield. 3 wide this time. DeBon got room. Dragons give him a lane, and he takes off running. He'll be out near a 1st down. And we'll see where they spot this. It's going to be about a yard or so short. So he'll have it all the way up to the Dragon 43-yard line. It'll be a yard short. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 1.
Big offensive line for the Raiders, but Parker Pinamani was able to get through and kind of chase him out.
2nd down and 1. Hirsch again in the pistol with Washington. 3 wide to the far side this time. The lone wide receiver near side is Adam Olson. But you see DeBon there kind of in a tight end slot. Oh, one-handed catch by DeBon. Nice snag to pull that one in. It was thrown behind him, but you can see soft hands, good size, good speed. You can see what the coaches at Iowa State saw. And he'll pick up a 1st down for the Raiders up to the Pittsburg 38.
I mean, it looked like he had a ball glove on his hand there.
Stick him on there or something.
Big paw just comes out and wraps the nose of the ball up. No problem for him.
Just a 4-yard gain, but it's enough to move the sticks. And it looks like they really like lining DeBon up in a slot. Of course, as soon as I say that, he lines up like a traditional tight end. But snap to Hirsch. fakes the handoff to Washington, and the Dragons not fooled as they drag him down for no gain on the play.
Damaris Partee making his presence felt already. Good tackle from him. Able to get through that big offensive line and wrap up the running back there. And good tackle.
The officials conference on the mound here is maybe an equipment issue with one of the Dragons. Oh, I have a lower back pad hanging loose. That's Dawson Hall having to run off and get checked out.
Landon South are checking in for him.
Again, shotgun for Hirsch, 3 wide this time. DeBon lined up on the left side of that line. A screen pass ahead to Washington. Hurdles a defender out across the 35 down to the 30. And an athletic move that time by Washington to add an extra 5 yards to that run.
He literally hurdled Jamarcus Davis there.
Yep.
Davis broke down. He was going to have a great looking tackle, and he just hurdles him. What a play.
Gain of about 8. Looked like it was more. Felt like more.
It definitely did.
And they've got it now at the 30 of the Dragons. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2, but Pittsburgh able to get a stop last time and force a 4th down. This time the handoff straight ahead to Washington makes a man miss and then kind of loses his footing a little bit. And credit that tackle to the turf monster, but it's enough for a 1st down for South. It'll set them up 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 28.
Already a different look from what the Dragons saw last week. Very, very run heavy. And now they're really seeing a pretty balanced attack coming from the Raiders, both pass and the run.
4 wide this time, and
didn't like
Hirsch
that play.
having to update his line on what's going on. He'll stay in the pistol. They'll put a man in motion near side. Here's the snap to Hirsch. Has to pull it down. Now he's in trouble, and the Dragons pull him down. And it may have been a loss of yards on the play, as I think they lost about a yard. It'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Cole Hayden with the sack on that.
The ball spotted about the 29-yard line.
Now the Dragons, they're fast. That's what they're going to have to use to get back there and make those plays like that.
Hirsch again in the pistol, 3 wide. Twins to the near side. Here's the snap to Hirsch again. Handoff straight ahead, and the defender, one of the defenders just blew right by Washington in the backfield, and he is able to pick up a good chunk of yardage, another 1st down, and inside the red zone now, down to about the 10-yard line of the Dragons.
Yeah, J.C. Patterson had him. He was going to be able to make the tackle, made a great move to get around him, and eventually brought down by number 21, Malachi Meadows.
So they needed 11. They got 19, and it sets up a 1st and goal at the Pittsburgh 10. Washington stays in the game. Hirsch gets the call in from the sideline. They don't spend a lot of time in the huddle. And you got 2 wide receivers. They're not stacked, but on the near side, they'll put a man in motion. Handoff again to Washington. I think they're going to call a illegal procedure because that receiver was moving forward at the snap. And so can't do that. That'll back the Raiders up 5 yards, and for the Dragons, hopefully that helps to break some of this offensive rhythm that the Raiders have been building on this drive. It's been a pretty impressive drive, and I'd say it all got sparked by that 4th down conversion by DeBon, and they've been rolling ever since. Hirsch under center in the pistol, Washington behind him in the backfield, 3 wide receivers to the near side. DeBon in the interior slot. Here's the pass, and it's complete to Jared Sykott, and he's in for the touchdown, and the Raiders lead at 6-0.
This balanced attack is tough to defend against. You never know what you're going to get. They've done a great job of really mixing up their play calling, the Raiders have.
12 plays, 80 yards for the Raiders, capped off by a 10-yard touchdown pass from Hirsch to Jared Sykott. And the kick is good. Shawnee Mission South punches it in on an 80-yard drive. Dragons trailing at 7-0. We'll step away for a quick break, and we'll be back. You're watching Pittsburgh Purple Dragon football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com.
Shitty kick. Let it go out of bounds, dude. Yeah. Oh. And Natchke's kick returned up to about the, let's see where they're going to spot it. Looks like about the 32-yard line. So much paperwork, JJ, so much paperwork. That was Jamarcus Davis on the return for the Dragons.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to break it there.
Yeah. At first, I was like, let it go, let it go. And then he picked it up and took off. So, no, never mind. Do what you're going to do. Oh, Krogan will line up. Lone back in the backfield is Malcolm Riley. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Up a 2nd down and 3 from the 39 for the Dragons. Again, Riley, the lone back in the backfield behind Krogan. Christian under center. We'll put a man in motion. The snap. Now Krogan going to run the option. The pitch comes out. That's Derringer with it. And he'll have enough for the Dragon first down out to about the 45-yard line. So there's that option real quick. Dragons going to it, and it found a good running lane that time for Derringer and a good read on the pitch by Krogan.
Yeah, the option play, that's what you're looking for. You want to get to that outside before the defenders can get to you. Great job by the Dragons to get that done on that play.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play. First down and 10 for the Dragons. 1 wide receiver this time, 2 tight ends in this set. They'll put Derringer in motion. The handoff. Nope, they're going to run a pitch again, and Derringer can't handle the pitch. Ball's on the carpet, and I believe the Raiders get on top of it, and that's the danger of the option, is that you're pitching that ball out there in traffic, and Derringer maybe didn't have the greatest pitch relationship there with the quarterback, and it was a flat pitch, and Derringer a little bit behind him, couldn't handle it. And a lot of things have to work in unison for the option to look good. And that time Dragons a little bit out of sync, results in a turnover. And now Shawnee Mission South with the ball 1st and 10 at the Dragon 45. 5:49 to play in this first quarter. Dragons trailing 7-0.
I don't mean to state the obvious. Fumble's never good, obviously, but something good that I saw there. That Dragon offensive line, the push they got.
Yeah.
There's something there. There's something we can work with. We just got to get the ball back.
And, you know, they made some hay up the gut and then tried to explore the edge a couple times, and the second time they went to that well, ended up fumbling. 3 wide to the near side. Hirsch under center, hand off to Washington, cuts it back, puts a spin move on somebody, and able to spin out of a couple of tackles and get a really good gain there on first down. Up to about the 40, it'll bring up a 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, 75 Mooney came around the end, was going to take him down there. Running back able to slip through, and then tackle ended up being made by the number 77, Parker Pinamani.
2nd down and 5 now for the Raiders from the Dragon 40-yard line. And they took over after a fumble in Dragon territory, so this drive started at the 45. And Pittsburgh's defense trying to get a much-needed stop here early in this one. You don't want to go down 2 scores early in the game. Hirsch back to pass, looking over the middle, has a man. The catch made by Luke Black, 5'11", 165 pounds, senior wide receiver, just kind of hanging out in the middle of that defense. And Hirsch able to find him for a first down.
He found a good cushion there. I think maybe, of course, I'm no defensive back, never would claim to be one. Maybe to get a little bit closer to the playing man on them and don't leave those cushions like we had right there. Leave openings like that for them to make those easy throws.
Call it a gain of 13 on the play. New set of downs for the Raiders. Washington in the backfield. Hirsch back to pass again. He's going to throw this one over the top. Has a man, just overthrew him out of bounds as Will Bagby was open there, the 6 foot, 165-pound sophomore. But Hirsch put a little too much air under it, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, fortuitous pass there for the Dragons. Certainly would have had a touchdown had he made the catch.
So trips again to the near side. Pistol formation for Hirsch. Back to pass. A lot of pressure. Screen pass to Washington. Nobody home for the Dragons defensively. Washington makes a man miss and then drug down from behind at about the Dragon 11.
Little over pursuit maybe there by the defense. Allowed them just to get that little pop pass over their heads. Big gain for them and tackle made by Damaris Party.
Gain of 16 on the play. 1st and 10 at the 11, meaning that the Raiders, might be the 12, meaning the Raiders can get a first down without scoring in this scenario. 2 wide to the near side this time. They line up DePaun as a tight end. Handoff straight ahead to Washington. Again, makes a man miss and into the end zone for the touchdown. So Washington with some nifty moves in his own backfield has been able to, like I say, JJ, make some chicken salad against this Dragon defense.
And we got a flag on the play, looks like, too, maybe afterwards.
Verbiage.
Yeah, we saw some of that last week as well.
Words that hurt.
They do.
Disparaging.
And it looks like Coach Latimer going out to get a explanation of exactly what was called.
What words can we not say? I remember when we were that age, JJ, a lot of times there was observations about one another's mothers, and you get in trouble for that. .338 to play. First quarter, Dragons trailing at 13-0, pending this extra point attempt. It's been all Raiders so far. Dragons picked up a couple first downs on their first drive, but defensively have been unable to stop the Raiders, and they got a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the football, so that doesn't take anything away from the Dragons tonight. The kick is up, and it is good. Raiders lead it 14-0. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. You're watching Pittsburgh Purple Dragon football on Pittsburgh.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC. When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused.
Dragons trailing at 14-0 here early to these Shawnee Mission South Raiders. And just a lot of weapons. JJ talked about it I talked about it coming out into the break, and it's just a lot of stuff to try to stop if you're the Dragons defensively tonight. You're not playing Emporia, that's for sure. Kickoff fielded by Landon Profit, 5'9" sophomore. Returns it up near midfield to about the, we'll call it the 49, 48 maybe? See where they spot it. Any day now. There we go. 49-yard line.
Yeah, Dragons are looking for that spark now. They got a good push from their offensive line in the last series. Let's continue that.
Dragons went 3 and out on their first possession. Trying to get it going right here, and they'll go straight ahead with Riley. And Malcolm gets him out to about the 46-yard line, a gain of, call it 5 on first down. I'll bring up second down and 5.
Good gain from Riley. Once again, tough running by those big guys up front, pushing them around. They're getting physical. I love it.
And, you know, for the Dragons, one way to slow this offense down is the 4 yards in a cloud of dust and just keep them on the sideline.
Yep.
Could be what Coach Latt and these Dragons are trying to do in this situation. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Krogan under center. Again, straight ahead with Riley. He's got a gap, and he's able to exploit it across the 40 to about the 36-yard line. First down, Dragons. And I think there's something there up the middle, JJ.
Yeah. The great thing about Riley is the way he runs. He's going to bust through some tackles. We've seen it tonight a couple times already. You know, he gets into that second level, he can be gone. I don't think some of these defensive backs that the Raiders have are going to be able to bring him down with as tough as he runs.
First and 10 now for Pittsburgh from the Raider 37-yard line. 2 tight ends in this set. Krogan under center. Lone back in the backfield is Riley. He'll get the handoff going off the right side. Again, finds a gap through that line. The Dragons' offensive line opening up some holes for Riley, and he has it down to the down to the 34-yard line.
There you go, boy. The big uglies, as I like to lovingly call them, getting the job done. Love it.
I'll bring up a first and 10 for the Dragons from there. I think I got my spot wrong earlier on the last down. Oh, well. That's why all my stats are unofficial. Meadows and Cortland Jones Jr. are the wide receivers to the near side. Riley in the backfield behind Krogan. Here's the snap straight ahead to Riley. Again, another little seam for Riley right up the gut, and that is another first down, an 11-yard run.
It seems we took a note from last week's game from Emporia.
Yeah, punch him in the mouth.
That's what we're doing. You know what this is going to set up, too, is a nice little pass to Meadows or well, yeah, don't tell him. You didn't hear that. Never mind.
Away our secrets, JJ. Gosh, we're on the internet, man. Anybody could hear that. Riley in the backfield behind Krogan. This time wide receivers off to the far side. And again, straight ahead with Riley. And this time that Raider defensive line does a better job of closing those holes. And Riley carries ahead for about, call it 4 yards. They'll bring up a second down and 6 from the 9.
Yeah, it looks like they have DeBon playing on a defensive end for him too, so he's making noise on both sides of the ball. He's definitely a load to handle there, regardless of what side of the ball he's on.
Well, you'd rather he be spending his energy tackling,
yes,
than catching touchdowns. That's for sure. If you're the Dragons. Krogan under center, Derringer in motion, handoff. Nope. Krogan kept it and lost it on the option. And another fumble kills the drive for the Dragons, and that's the second time they've gone to the option, and the ball has ended up in the Raiders' hands.
You know, I get it. You don't want to become too predictable.
Super fast penetration that time,
yes.
And really Krogan had nowhere to go with it. Let's not pretend it was a missed read or something like that. It was a jailbreak, and he really had nowhere to go with it. And just the way you carry the ball in the option, you don't have it tucked because you're thinking about pitching it.
Right.
And it just makes it more likely that a defender is going to be able to strip it away. And that's what happened that time to Christian Krogan. And now Hirsch and the Raider offense back out on the field. 4 wide in this set. DeBon is in the slot on the far side. Again, Washington in the backfield behind Hirsch. Here's the snap. Hirsch looking near side. He's going to error one out deep. He's got a man. The catch is made by Max Bush at the Dragon 40, or at the Raider 42, excuse me.
The ball hung up there. We had an opportunity, just couldn't quite get to it before the receiver could.
Actually, I don't think that's Hirsch in there right now. That's Jacoby Powell in at quarterback right now for Shawnee Mission South. Powell back to pass, going to air another one out. Man, this kid's got a good arm. Ooh, just right through the hands of Trey West, 5'7", 165 pounds, senior wide receiver. And if he'd have been 5'8", he might have caught that one. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10, but just kind of fearless play calling right now by Shawnee Mission South.
Yeah, I guess when you're up 14-0, it
really opens up the playbook for you.
It really does.
Yeah. You tend to have a little bit more confidence throwing it down the field with that 14-point cushion. Powell in the pistol. Here's the snap. Hands to Washington again, makes somebody miss. He just makes little subtle cuts, and Washington off to the races across the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Shawnee Mission South.
Slippery.
Yeah.
He is slippery. I don't know how else
Pretty
to
good
put
speed,
it.
too, and that's
Yes.
that'll be the final timed play of the first quarter. I think they're going to go ahead and do the extra point here. But the Dragons down 3 scores now, just a quarter into the game. Kick is up, and it is blocked.
Yeah.
But it cleared the crossbar, and it's good. All right. Well, a crazy finish to this first quarter. Dragons trail at 21-0. We'll step away for a quick break. We'll be back with second quarter action. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
A 58-yard touchdown run by Marquand Washington gives Shawnee Mission South a 21-0 lead over the Dragons. There's the kick. I want to say that's Jamarcus Davis who fielded that one. And he's brought down at about the 30-yard line. That's where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, number 11 for the Raiders, able to get through our protection there and bring him down quite a bit sooner, I'm sure, than what Jamarcus wanted. But Dragons need a spark.
He wanted to run all the way to Fort Scott.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for Pittsburg High from the 30. See if they can get something going here, as both of their drives have ended with fumbles on that option play. So let's see if they get that cleaned up. And if you get this thing back down to 2 scores, you're still in the game.
Correct.
Tight formation this time by the Dragons. Just one wide receiver to the near side. And Krogan going to keep it straight up the gut, and they're trying to rip it loose, but Christian had that one in a headlock and falls forward close to a 1st down. He'll be about a yard short at the 39. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, good run for Christian there. Good pickup with the yards. Dragons are, what was working for them, the run up the middle when you're down 3 scores, You can't live off of that. You have to move the ball quicker.
And when they've gone away from that run up the middle is where they've gotten in trouble.
Right.
2 wide receivers to the far side, so it's a bit of a dilemma right now for the Dragons. Krogan under center. And he's almost tripped up in the backfield and then hit for a loss on the play. As there were a lot of green jerseys just went right through that offensive line of the Dragons. So good penetration that time by the Raiders, and they'll set up a 3rd down and 2 for the Dragons.
I'm sure at this time the Dragon coaches are going through the playbook, trying to find something that's going to work. Those of you that are movie buffs, maybe the annexation of Puerto Rico, if you remember the Little Giants.
You lost me there, bud.
What? You never saw that? Oh,
no, I mean,
you got to see that.
I thought the annexation of Puerto Rico occurred during the Spanish-American War. Low and back in the backfield is Riley, but I think he moved a little early, kind of jumped the snap, and it'll back the Dragons up 5 yards. So what was a 3rd and 2 will now become a 3rd and 7. Backs the ball up to the 33. And, man, a big challenge here on 3rd down for the Dragons. And I'll bet what you don't see here, JJ, is the option to the outside.
I would agree with that analysis.
I think it'll be probably just about anything but that. And honestly, not picking up this 3rd down and being able to punt the ball away would put the Dragons in better position than they've been thus far tonight. DeBon in there in a linebacker spot for Shawnee Mission South, and Krogan going to keep it himself, not near enough. He'll pick up about 3 yards. He needed 7, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 4, excuse me.
Another positive note, with as warm as it is, we haven't seen any cramping issues yet.
Not even up here in the booth.
No, well, you know, I did run some line drills before I came up.
Gassers down there. I'm just hoping not to get a jaw cramp here tonight with all this high-speed talking we're doing. But if you'll know if it happens.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not one to suffer in silence, that's for sure. Just ask my wife. Another tight formation here by the Dragons, and there's a timeout on the field. Pittsburg High wants to talk it over. We'll take a break as well. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're watching Pittsburg Dragon football on Pittsburg.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Chicken Annie's Gerard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Gerard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Gerard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Gerard indeed. A heroic value, superb flavor. When there's a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Chicken Annie's Gerard.
Looks like the Dragons are electing to go for it here on 4th and 4 and maybe another timeout. I think this time the Raiders want to talk it over.
Yep.
Like, they can't possibly be going for this, are they?
Well,
it's ludicrous.
Are we going to see a pooch punt from Krogan? You know, are they going to go for it? There's a lot of options here that you could see.
Statue of Liberty play.
Statue of Liberty, yes.
Pull that one out of the old Boise State playbook. But yeah, there are options. 4th and 4 is, you're kind of out here in no man's land, but the way the Dragons punted the ball last week, I don't think you're in danger of a touchback so much. Looking at their personnel, it looks like they're still going for it.
Yeah.
And Krogan giving them the play in the huddle now. Dragons quickly to the line. 9:27 to play first half. Pittsburg trailing Shawnee Mission South 21-0. What the heck? You might as well go for it here. Put a man in motion. Profit. Now he'll come back to the line and another timeout. And Pittsburgh wanted to talk it over. I don't know if they were trying to give him the hard count. Looks like maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And I think the Dragons now with just one timeout left in this first half. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Don't need the binoculars tonight.
No, it's a legit scoreboard. We don't have the score on a widescreen television at the end of the stadium. Pittsburgh State has the Jumbotron. Emporia State has whatever the opposite of that is. So now the Dragons going to punt it away. Back to receive is Trey West. .57", 160 some odd pounds. He's going to let this one land. It'll take a Dragon hop and roll out across the 25 to about the 24, where it'll be touchdown. And that's where the Raiders will take over 1st and 10. And this Dragon defense yet to get a stop tonight. We'll see if they can do it right here.
Yeah, rough series on the last one. Every play that was stopped essentially because the player fell or they scored. So Dragons definitely going to have to step it up here on D. We've got the personnel to do it. I believe that. We got to get it done.
So 1st and 10 from the 25 for Shawnee Mission South. There's a flag in the offensive backfield. And that's in the neighborhood of a hold, usually when it's from behind the line like that. Well, it would be about a gain of 4 on the play, but we'll see what the call is here someday.
Yeah, I believe the white hat did signal as a hold.
It's a hold against Shawnee Mission South.
We'll take
So
it.
that should back them up 10, right? Holding's a 10-yarder.
Yep.
And it is back to the 15, so 2nd down and 20. Now for the Raiders. 3 wide to the near side. Powell back to pass. That one may have been a little bit deflected behind the line as the Dragons got in there with some defensive pressure and forced an incompletion. I think that was Cole Hayden who got in there in the face of the quarterback.
Yeah, he did.
And Powell threw that one about 5 yards off the mark, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 20.
Yeah, Powell seemed a little, I don't know what happened there. It seemed a little unhappy and looked like he was talking to the referee a little bit after that, but I didn't see anything wrong.
So again, 5 wide in this set. Shawnee Mission likes to throw it around. Powell now tucks it down, thinking about running. Now he's got a man, throws it way over his head as he was on the run, and that affected his accuracy, and he missed his intended receiver, Trey West. And again, Trey just 5'7", and that one sailed over his head. I think if he was perhaps Shaquille O'Neal or Manute Bol or Superman, he could have caught that one. It was pretty far over his head.
Yeah, we're getting back. We're pressuring Powell a little bit.
Yeah.
We just need a lot more of it.
3 wide this time. DeBon lined up as a traditional tight end. Washington in the backfield with Powell. Dragons dropping back into pass coverage. Play action. Powell rolling out, looking to throw. Has DeBon wide open at the 20. And the Dragons, I don't know how you lose that guy, but they did, and he's going to take it out to about the 34. And that'll be close to a 1st down for the Raiders. Not quite, though. They're going to be a couple yards short. It'll bring up a 4th down and 2. And a lot of personnel changing. Looks like they may be ready to punt this one away. But last time, DeBon ran for a 1st down. So the Dragons going to have to account for him as a threat this time around and not turn their back on it.
Yep, head on a swivel with this one here, boys.
And he's going to carry it again, and he's going to get stopped about a yard shy of the marker. The line to gain, and the Dragons will take over on downs at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, Dawson Hall and Parker Pinamani teaming up to get that big, big stop.
8:33 to play, first half. Dragons with their best field position of the night as they take over at the Raider 33 after the turnover on downs.
You know, I'm not entirely sure they were intending on faking the punt.
Yeah, it looked a little bit busted.
Yeah.
When DeBon took off with it. And I don't know if he just thought there was too much pressure to get that long leg into a punt or not, but ended up about a yard shy. Dragons 2 wide receivers to the near side, 2 tight ends in this set. Riley in the backfield behind Krogan. Krogan with the snap, quick pitch to the outside. Riley can't handle it. Scooped by the Raiders. Oh my goodness. Scooped by Rowan Minnick, 6'2", 200-pound defensive back. Kind of coming up on a run blitz that time. Right place, right time. Riley could not handle that pitch as I think he took his eyes off of it, looking for the gap in the defense, and did not handle the pitch cleanly, and the Dragons turn it over for the 3rd time tonight.
What a heartbreaker. Best field position they've had all night.
Yeah.
This defense has to be getting tired.
Well, a lot of these guys go both ways, so. Super tired.
Good point.
Trey West with it, trying to find the corner. He gets around the end, and he'll have enough for a Raider first down up to about the 38, and West slow to get up on this one. And you don't like to see that. It's some Pittsburgh coaches that happened right in front of that Dragon sideline, and they're out there to check on West, and now the trainers from Shawnee Mission South have had out there, and this will give us a chance to catch our breath a little bit. 8:19 to play, first half. We'll step away for 30 seconds while they attend to West over on the far side. Dragons trailing the Raiders 21-0. And more first half action when we come back. You're watching Dragon football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast CrawlCan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the CrawlCan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer.
Over on the far side, and we've called his name a few times, and a lot of passes have gone over his head tonight. At that time, got it on an end around and actually got around the corner, but then took a pretty good shot down there near the line to gain. He had the first down, and it's good to see him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's not West. Who is that? That's
14.
Jared Sykott, 6'2", 180-pound senior. So a little bit more size there on Sykott, but he just took a heck of a shot at the end of that, and it was kind of low around the thigh and whatnot, so could be walking off a Charlie horse right now. Not to use medical jargon on you, but he appears to be okay, and that's good news. Both of these teams, they're in different classes, so I don't know that this game counts for much for either team. You're just trying to work on some stuff and get better, and the one thing you don't want is for anybody to get injured in the process. So now Hirsch back in the game at quarterback, lined up in the pistol. Washington in the backfield behind him. Powell got a couple of series. Trips to the near side. DeBon one of those. And the handoff to Washington again makes a man miss in the backfield. Dragons just tackling way too high on a guy like Washington. You're not going to bring him down at the shoulder pads. You're going to have to get a little bit lower. And that if you don't go low on the guy, you're going to you're going to olay him.
Yeah.
And Dragons not going to arm tackle him, in other words.
Right.
I don't know how many different ways I can say that.
We're seeing way too much on the arm tackling part of it. Our Dragons, they're going to have to get low. They're going to have to deliver a good, solid hit to bring these guys down.
First and 10 now call it the 37-yard line of the Dragons. Here's the snap. They're going to go straight ahead with Washington again. Why not? And that time somebody put a belt on him. But he's able to power forward, just a big dude, big base on him. And he's able to push ahead to about the 33-yard line and bring up a second down and a long 6.
Cole Hayden just fills up that middle there and able to deliver a big hit to bring him down. You know, one good thing about playing a 6A team is you go into the playoffs in the Dragons, you're going to be playing bigger schools. This is going to help prepare you for that.
I was going to guess it was the press box. That was the good thing about playing a 6A school. Hirsch in the gun, Washington with him. They'll put DeBon in motion, and there's some movement on that line for Shawnee Mission South. One of the Dragon defenders took full advantage of that.
Yeah, you might as well.
And if you're going to move, I'm going to knock you over.
That's right. Parker pinned him on it. He says, hey, you break it, I buy it, here we go.
Yeah. I can hit somebody and not get in any trouble. That'll back him up to the 38. It'll bring up second down and 11. Shotgun again for Hirsch. They'll put DeBon in motion to the far side. Hirsch looking near side. Another screen pass to the back. Somebody's got to pick up Washington coming out of the backfield as he trucks a Dragon defender at about the 22 and then gang tackled down to about the 14. And if you didn't think Washington was a physical runner, news for you. That was a heck of a truck on the outside as he ran over Corday Haynes out there on the outside. And you don't want to have to tackle that guy in a phone booth, that's for sure.
You couldn't have got more wide open than what he was there. Completely ignored.
You know what I didn't do, JJ? Turn the page on my score.
Hey, I was supposed to remind you, turn the page.
Wide receiver stacked to the near side. Hirsch hands off up the middle to Washington. He spins out of a tackle, and the first man has not brought Washington down all night.
No.
The first guy there cannot get him, and he spins out of it ahead to about the 11-yard line.
We might need to check his jersey for some type of grease or something because he is slipping through everything.
Mm-hmm. 2nd and 7 at about call it the 11. Empty backfield for Hirsch. Fakes the run. Now, oh my gosh, he was right there. Oh, if Cortland Jones Jr. could have hauled that one in, he'd have been off to the races.
Yeah, to the house.
And he just couldn't haul it in. It was right in his breadbasket. And good job of reading that pass as they were trying to throw a wide receiver screen with a complete lack of blocking. So Jones Jr. able to just shoot that and get into the passing lane, and man, so close to a pick 6 right there for Jones Jr. I bet they ripped that page out of the playbook, JJ. And now a 3rd down and 7 for Shawnee Mission South. Trying to get an end around. And again, the first man doesn't make the tackle, but the cavalry arrived in time to drop him for a loss. I want to say that was Ashton Shelby on the carry for Shawnee Mission South.
You know, we had him in the background. The defender had him wrapped up for a moment. And I think he got confused that he didn't have the ball, lets him go, and the tackle ends up getting cleaned up later on down the line.
Never mind, that was Croy Garcia. 5'10 sophomore. Now 3 wide to the near side again. And a timeout, Shawnee Mission South. They want to talk it over. We'll take a break as well. 4:45 to play, first half. Dragons trailing at 21-0, and Shawnee Mission South driving in Dragon territory. When we come back, you're watching Purple Dragon football.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
It's The Rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love.
4:45 to play, first half. Dragons trailing it 21-0 to the Shawnee Mission South Raiders. And turnovers have killed the Dragons tonight. 3 drives have ended with fumbles, 2 of them on an option play, the third on a mishandled pitch. But the Dragons kind of shooting themselves in the foot here tonight against a very capable Shawnee Mission South team that I doubt their record's 1-8 this year, JJ, as they got some dudes.
They have the dudes. That's 100%.
There's the X's and the O's and the Jimmies and the Joes. And doing a good job at both of them tonight. Hirsch in the pistol with Washington in the backfield. DeBon lined up interior in the slot. They'll put a man in motion, throwing far side. Defender did not get his head around in time. And it's a touchdown for Corey Grant, 5'6", 145-pound.
Flag on the play.
Senior is a flag, though. And I'm going to have to check the number on that receiver. That might have been. Sycott, I'm not for sure.
And it looks like we. No, he's just throwing the flag back, I'm hoping, at that point.
He's picked it up.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Oh, there it is. And it'll be assessed on the kickoff, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Shawnee Mission South, so probably some language. On to attempt the point after is Nick Natsky. His kick is up and good. So, 4:39 to play, first half. Dragons trailing at 28-0 now to Shawnee Mission South. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
It's the rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The rush is why we need a plan. A plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
Welcome back to Shawnee Mission South High School, Overland Park, Kansas. Beautiful night for football here in Northeast Kansas. Not too beautiful, though, if you're a Dragon fan, as it's kind of been a house of horrors here tonight. 3 drives ended turnovers for the Dragons, and then big plays left and right for Shawnee Mission South tonight. And if you're the Dragons, you just keep your head up and keep chopping wood. Try and get back into this one. Still a lot of time, 4:39 left to play first half. And so Dragons really need something on this possession. We'll see if they've sorted anything out offensively, as pretty much everything outside the tackles tonight has not gone well for the Dragons. Long kick fielded by Cortland Jones Jr. Makes a move, makes a man miss out around the 45, so pretty good field position for the Dragons to start this drive.
You know, Dragons have to get into a little bit of a hurry to get some points on the board before halftime. You got to find that right play. And I think at this point, you're kind of going to be depending on just breaking a big one. I don't think you're going to wear them out. It's going to take something that breaks down on the defense for you to get into the end zone.
2 wing backs this time for the Dragons in this formation, 1 wide receiver. Riley in the backfield behind Krogan. They'll put Derringer in motion straight ahead with Riley. And, you know, if you're Shawnee Mission South, you're going to key on Riley because he's been about the only bright spot offensively tonight for the Dragons, and he'll carry that one ahead for about 3 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 at the 48.
Partee checking back in for the Dragons.
Under 4 minutes now to play first half. Pittsburg High trying to get something going here on a 2nd down and 7 near midfield. Krogan under center. They'll put Derringer in motion. I think this is a busted play. Krogan's going to lob it up and way over the head of his intended receiver, Cole Hayden, who would have had to have been like Olympic sprinter to catch up to that one.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a mishandling of the snap.
Yeah, an instant penetration.
Yeah.
When Krogan threw that one, there was a helmet in his chest. And so your chance for accuracy on that throw is pretty low. And that,
at that point, you probably just want to get the ball out of the way.
Yeah.
Keep it from being a turnover.
And we saw the Dragons commit a big turnover towards the end of the first half last week against Emporia, 80-yard pick six. I don't mean to bring up old stuff, but Krogan going to keep that one straight ahead across midfield to about the 49. It'll bring up a 4th down and 4 for the Dragons. You got to think this is 4th down territory for Pittsburg. You want to keep this ball as long as possible.
Yeah, keep that offense of the Raiders off the field. Give your guys that only play defense a little bit of a break, catch your breath. And, hey, let's mess around, let's get a 1st down and go from there.
Momentum's such a funny thing that one play here or there can really swing it. The Dragons just need one of those. Hopefully they can get it here in special teams as they're set to punt this one away. Trey West back to receive for Shawnee Mission South. Bad snap. Here's the kick. Angling towards the sideline and out of bounds. And I think they're going to mark that one out at keep walking, bud. They're going to mark it out. You sure? At about the 25. That didn't look super confident there in that spot.
No, it didn't. A little bit. We kind of
life's just a series of estimations, you know.
We mishandled the snap on the punt this time. We're actually pretty lucky that we were able to even get the punt off.
Yep.
So we'll take this as
a
positive on a night where there's been a whole lot of positives.
And we knew tonight was going to be a test for these Dragon defensive backs. And so far tonight, Shawnee Mission South's gotten the better end of the passing game as they come out 5 wide again. Empty backfield for Hirsch. As they line Washington up in the slot on the near side, along with Luke Black. And then trips to the far side to Bond in the inside slot position. Empty backfield. Here's the snap. Hirsch's going to keep it straight ahead, and the Dragons do a good job of getting around his ankles and dragging him down, but not until he picks up, call it about 6 yards up to the 28.
Yeah, I think Parker Pinamani heard you say something about tackling and wrapping
around
their feet
the legs.
Yeah.
It is much harder to run with somebody hanging on your legs.
That's what they say.
Second down and 4 at the 28. Pistol formation for Hirsch. He'll take the snap, back to pass, looking. Now he's going to scramble near side, still looking downfield, sidearms it, has his intended receiver, Jared Sykott, near midfield, and just a nifty move that time by Hirsch. And unorthodox throw, but it got the job done.
Hirsch had all day to make that throw.
Yeah.
We were not pressuring him there, and that's going to be key to make him make those quick decisions. It seems like when he is forced to make those quick decisions, he puts more air under the ball. It's going to give our D-backs a little bit of a chance to get under it, make an interception, and run one back.
Gain of 2 on the play. Love the positive thinking.
That's
4 wide in this set. Hirsch will line up in the pistol with Washington. They'll motion to Bond to the traditional tight end spot. Hand off to Washington again, spins out of a tackle in the backfield. As that was Cole Hayden, had him dead to rights, but again, kind of going at him high, and Washington able to spin out of it and turn what would have been a loss into no gain. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Minute 15 to play, first half. Dragons trailing by 4 scores. Getting shut out here so far by these Raiders of Shawnee Mission South. 4 wide in this set with Hirsch in the pistol. Back to pass, looking deep. Now he's pressured. Gonna have to run it a little bit. Reverses field, looking downfield, has a man. Oh, right off the hands of Sykott, his intended receiver, and Sykott could not make the one-handed grab that time.
Hands probably slightly smaller than DeBon's.
Well, you know. Big gloves. 54 seconds left to play. First half, Dragons just trying to defensively hang on for those last 54 seconds, keep the Raiders out of the end zone. They're looking at a 3rd down and 10. Pistol formation, 3 wide again. Hirsch looking. Good coverage that time by the Dragons. Now has to pull it down and run with it, being pursued. And the 3 defenders hit him over there on the far side. And you got to think, if you're head coach Nick Foster, you don't really like your quarterback running around like that and get hit by 3 guys for a 4-yard gain. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 6 from the Pittsburg 46.
Yeah, these Raiders are so fast. Connor Butler, also a fast kid, number 59, chasing the quarterback down. Just doesn't quite have the top-end speed that the Raiders do at this point. Of course, he's also had a lot of plays out there, and
under 40 seconds in the first half. Shawnee Mission South looking at a 4th down and 6, and we'll see. They've yet to actually punt the ball.
True.
They've had a couple of punting situations, and DeBon has ended up running both times. Once, I think, was intended, and the other time was necessity. We'll see what happens this time as almost, let's see what personnel they bring out here. Looks like they're going to go for it.
Why not?
Yeah, they got Hirsch lined up in the pistol with Washington. It looks like they're going for it. 4 wide in this set. DeBon lined up in the slot on the near side. It's DeBon, West, and Sykott are the trips to the near side. Hirsch with the snap. Dragons, a little bit of pressure. That one's short and through the hands of DeBon. It falls incomplete, and that'll turn it over on downs at midfield. And if you're that Dragon offense, I don't know. I'd take offense at them going for it on 4th and 6.
Yeah.
And I'd try and make them pay here as much as possible if you're Pittsburgh. I mean, granted, you want to score every time you have the ball, but only 26 seconds left in the half. Pittsburgh's only attempted a couple of passes tonight, and both have fallen incomplete. So now Krogan will lead them up to the line. Dragons come out double tight. Cortland Jones Jr. and Malachi Meadows, the wide receivers in this set. Riley is the lone back in the backfield. There's a pause in the action. There we go.
What are you feeling here? Pass?
Krogan under center. They'll put Derringer in motion. Handoff straight ahead to Riley, and he's out across midfield with a gain of about 5. And there's a timeout, Dragons, with 23 seconds left. Not many plays in the playbook for this situation.
Yeah, certainly not with the limited amount of time you have. We're going into halftime. I'm a little surprised they called a timeout, to be honest with you. I kind of thought maybe they'd just run the next play, try to make it to halftime. and limit the damage that's already been done to what we have.
Second down and 5 for the Dragons, just inside Raider territory at the 49. Pittsburgh trailing at 28-0 here with the waning seconds of this first half. Again, Dragons come out double tight. And Riley alone in the backfield behind Krogan, who's under center. Snap, Christian, back to pass, comes far side. That one intended for Meadows, but it was down at his ankles, an old-fashioned shoe shiner. And Meadows couldn't haul that one in. Falls incomplete, stops the clock with 19 seconds left to play. Dragons looking at a third down and 5.
They picked the right guy to throw to, without a doubt. Malachi can be a big difference maker. He's electric. He can make it down the field, and he can score in an instant. But you got to get the ball into his hands.
Third down and 5. They need to reach the 44, for a first down, but it's just academic at this point. 19 seconds left first half. Krogan back to pass. He's going to scramble far side. Now he lets it loose, and it's juggled. And is it caught? Nope, it's juggled and dropped. His intended receiver was Corday Haynes, and Haynes, 5'8" junior, could not haul it in. I think he was expecting to get hit, and it just never happened.
It looked like he was going to.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of traffic.
You talk about hearing footsteps. I'm sure he was. I like what we're seeing with the pass.
Yeah, it's looking crisper tonight than it did last week, and that's an improvement. But now a fourth down and 5 for Pittsburgh from the 49. Man, a bunch formation this time for the Dragons. Only one wide is Jones Jr. out there, and now Whistle's going to stop it. Got a flag, and I think the Dragons maybe get called. Yeah. Was that delay a game? I think they may have gotten a delay call there. Yeah, I'll back them up to the Dragon 46 and bring up a fourth down and 10 with 11 seconds left to play.
Last week you said there's three. Coach Garman used to say that there was three good things.
That wasn't
three
me,
things that could happen when you pass the ball, and 2 of them were bad. But when you're down this much,
what's the point?
We'll take a shot at one good one.
Might as well. That's a 33% chance. That's worth taking. Put Derringer in motion. Now the handoff straight ahead to Riley. Out across midfield to 40, spinning off tackles. He'll have enough for a first down. Up to about the 41. It stops the clock with 5 seconds. And I think as soon as they get this ball spotted, are they going to wind it? Yep, there they go. And a timeout is called. I want to say that's Pittsburgh, because if you're Shawnee Mission, why would you call that timeout? So 3 seconds left. Dragons call timeout.
Riley churning and burning, picking up some yards for the Dragons. You're still seeing good body language out of the Dragons. They're not walking around with their heads hung. They're still trying to put some points on the board.
Second down and 10 for the Dragons. Krogan under center, lone wide receiver to the near side, Malachi Meadows. They'll put Derringer in motion. Now an option to the near side. Krogan's going to keep it. Drives ahead along the sidelines, drugged down about 5 yards out of bounds. No flag, and that'll do it for the first half. Dragons trailing it at the break. 28-0. We're going to step away for a quick break. And when we come back, the halftime show. And we'll talk about some of this action here in this first half, one that the Dragons would probably like to forget all about and come out and play the second half. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused on providing quality lab work that is accurate and timely. MagLab's walk-in service typically gets you in and out in under 5 minutes with same-day results. Locally owned and operated, MagLab takes most insurances, including Medicaid, and has historically had the lowest out-of-pocket prices. So when it comes to having labs drawn, don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
It's the rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The rush is why we need a plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
Welcome back to Shawnee Mission South High School, Overland Park, Kansas. At the half, Dragons trailing the Raiders 28-0. This is the GN Bank Halftime Show, brought to you by GN Bank, where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gnbank.com. Well, JJ, we mentioned it kind of going into break. The first half that the Dragons probably like to forget, as turnovers were the big story in this first half as we take a look back at some of the action from the first half. Our Eye on the Game is brought to you by Kanar Eye Care. As we take a look back at the first half, Kanar Eye Care is here to make sure you can see what you're looking at. Kanar Eye Care, with locations in Pittsburg and Girard, is here to help their valued customers. Learn more at canareyecare.com. Well, that first half, the story of the first half really, JJ, for the Dragons was turnovers and big plays offensively for Shawnee Mission South, and one kind of led to the other.
Yeah.
As the Dragons had 3 drives, a couple of them looked pretty promising, end in fumbles, and a couple of them on the option play, one on a mishandled pitch by Malcolm Riley, but just, I don't know if it's nerves or if it's just random chance, but the Dragons having a hard time holding on to the ball tonight when it comes to option pitches or just pitches in general.
Yeah.
And that's really been the story, is the turnovers tonight for the Dragons, and if they get those cleaned up in that second half, I think it'll make life harder for Shawnee Mission South. But when you're up by 28, life can't get too hard, you know.
No.
Some real stuff has to go wrong. And So the Dragons really, I think, in this second half need to kind of focus on improving for all the games they've got coming up down the road. And, of course, next week at Altamont. And that is a very winnable game for the Dragons if they come out and execute. And I think that's probably what the focus will be here in the second half.
Yeah, I think if they take the good things that they've done against a really good team here tonight, then they can make a lot of noise as they go and play the same size schools of what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes a big difference. It really does. The amount of kids that you have to choose from, and you can just see not only in the size as far as height and weight, all that, but sheer numbers of players that the Raiders have. The amount of cheerleaders they have, the amount of band members they have.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. They have a lot more options there. But it comes down to the turnovers. If we clean those up, we're not looking at 28 points on their side.
Right.
So how do you do it? I don't know.
And the turnovers have given, short fields.
Right.
To Shawnee Mission South. The Dragons are in a situation where even if they don't score, if they're able to punt that ball away and make the Raiders have to work a little bit harder for it, we may not be looking at a 4-score difference here at the half. And so we harp on it, but the turnovers have really been the story for this first half. We're at halftime here tonight in Overland Park. Beautiful night for football here in Northeast Kansas. And, gosh, we hope you're out somewhere tonight, outdoors, enjoying this beautiful weather, because winter is coming, my friend. Winter is coming. So enjoy the nights when there's no frost on the pumpkin. And this is one of them. It's warm and balmy here in Overland Park. And Dragons having a rough go of it tonight, trailing 28-0 at the break. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in 2, maybe 3 minutes, maybe 15, who knows. But Dragons trailing at the break. You're watching Pittsburg High School Dragon football on Pittsburg Sports Live.
Thanks to your support, Kenora Eye Care has expanded. With double the space, they offer more exam rooms, larger optical selection, and extended hours to fit your schedule. And with the latest technology, they can quickly diagnose any eye-related issues. All patients are welcome at Kenora Eye Care, the clear choice for your family.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty, fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings, chicken and noodles, and so much more. And of course, their delicious homemade pies. Dine in or carry out available. Chicken Annie's of Girard has the best value, flavor, and service in the area. Stop in soon or call for catering. 620-724-4090.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, Equal Housing Lender, and member FDIC.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
Welcome back to Shawnee Mission South High School, Overland Park, Kansas. We're at halftime of tonight's game between the Pittsburg Purple Dragons and the Shawnee Mission South Raiders. We're getting blown away by that Raider band, the rompin' stompin' Raider band. It's I'm not making that up. That's what the scoreboard says. That's not my assessment.
I thought
there is a rocket on the field, and JJ, you're intrigued to know what is going to happen with this rocket. Are we going to witness history tonight?
Your theory is Mentos and
Coca-Cola is my theory. Yeah, maybe.
I would like to see that.
Vinegar and baking soda.
Could be.
That was my go-to for science presentations. It's a volcano. It's a geyser. It's a car bomb.
it's a catch-all.
Yeah. All right. Well, first half a rough one for the Dragons as they trail at 28-0. 3 big turnovers on mishandled, just 3 fumbles, 2 mishandled pitches, and just a regular old traditional run-of-the-mill garden variety fumble. And Shawnee Mission South able to recover all 3 of those and turn them into touchdowns against the Dragons. And that purple and white defense has been unable to get a stop tonight when it matters, and had Shawnee Mission South in a 4th down situation, like a 4th and long situation on their first drive, and their tight end, punter, all-around all-star Drake DeBon able to run for a first down on a designed fake punt, and then nearly ran for another first down. Actually, the Dragons did get a turnover on downs. I'll take that back. They got a stop in the first half on a turnover on downs, just unable to get anything going offensively after that. And Shawnee Mission South, that was the only time they were stopped, and their offense has looked pretty good tonight, whether it's Hirsch or Powell in there at quarterback. It was a well-oiled machine, and I don't think enough attention on this team is probably paid to Marquand Washington, because he seems to be, he stirs the drink for him, because if they don't get that running game going, nothing else really probably works as well. And Washington has been a load tonight for that Dragon defense to bring down. So a good game tonight so far by Shawnee Mission South. The Dragons got to tidy some things up, make some adjustments in the locker room, and try and close some of this gap and win the second half, at least, of this game. But I'm intrigued by what's going on with this band and this rocket right now, so I'm just going to be quiet. Turn that crowd mic up. Let's see the woodwinds right up here, up close. I don't think I've ever seen that many xylophones.
I was literally just thinking that.
Like, what a plethora of xylophones. Cut away from this. That, my friends, is a high school band, man.
Look at that.
Holy man. Woo! I still don't understand the rocket. I'm missing the rocket. I don't know.
Maybe it's in the name of the song, or
I don't know. Is this Rocket Man? I don't hear it. Dang. How about that Shawnee Mission South Romp and Stomp and Raider band? We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back here watching Dragon football on Pittsburg Sports Live.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburg.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Chicken Annie's Gerard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Gerard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Gerard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Gerard indeed. A heroic value, superb flavor. When there's a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Chicken Annie's Gerard.
When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused on providing quality lab work that is accurate and timely. MagLab's walk-in service typically gets you in and out in under 5 minutes with same-day results. Locally owned and operated, MagLab takes most insurances, including Medicaid, and has historically had the lowest out-of-pocket prices. So when it comes to having labs drawn, don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
And we're back. Welcome back to Shawnee Mission South High School, Overland Park, Kansas. And we just got our doors blown off by the Shawnee Mission South band. I don't normally just stop a halftime show to watch the band, but that was pretty epic.
Yeah,
I mean, just the sheer volume of xylophones.
Yeah,
you know,
you just don't get that every day.
Yeah, it's a, you know, I guess you go to school in Johnson County, you have a huge xylophone budget, and maybe your other schools in the state might not have, but
still a little upset about the Rocket.
Yeah,
I mean,
what was that about?
I'm nitpicking here after that performance. I am being a little.
That
nitpicking.
didn't land for me. You're right. Nor did it launch. We were really expecting.
I thought some lights or something.
Yeah.
Again, that's nitpicky. The band was amazing.
The band was amazing. I was expecting a SpaceX moment, and it just didn't happen. But, you know, maybe next year. We're at halftime here in Overland Park. Both the teams, as you can see, out of the locker room, warming up down there on the field, getting set for the second half. We're about 2 minutes away from the second half kickoff. That gives us an opportunity to take one more break here in the GN Bank halftime show. We'll be back with second half action. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburg Sports Live.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburgh.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Chicken Annie's Girard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Girard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Girard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Girard indeed. A heroic value, superb flavor. When there's a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Chicken Annie's Girard.
When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused on providing quality lab work that is accurate and timely. MagLab's walk-in service typically gets you in and out in under 5 minutes with same-day results. Locally owned and operated, MagLab takes most insurances, including Medicaid, and has historically had the lowest out-of-pocket prices. So when it comes to having labs drawn, don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Welcome back to beautiful Overland Park, Kansas, home of Shawnee Mission South High School. At the half, Dragons trailing the Raiders 28-0. And we talked last week about frank and earnest conversations occurring at halftime, and I think this one had to be that, but also pretty motivational, I think, for this Pittsburgh coaching staff to keep everybody's heads up, keep them in the game, keep them focused on what's really important here, which is continuing to improve for the rest of your season on down the stretch here. As
I agree. I think
Dragons have a lot of talent, but just got some things to work on.
Yeah, Coach Latimer probably, I'm just going to assume, obviously, but I think in that locker room, the boys know they're down 28 points. It's on the scoreboard. Everyone here knows, right?
Yeah, they haven't been quiet about it.
No, they have not. But, give them a little something to work on.
Yep.
Don't just break them down. Give them something to work on. There's obviously plenty for us to work on, but build them back up. Let's see if we can get a couple of touchdowns.
All right, getting set for the second half kickoff. Nick Natsky to kick it away for Shawnee Mission South. It's a short little pooch kick headed towards the sidelines. The Dragons able to field it. I don't know, you might have let that one go out, but it would end up in about the same place as the Dragons field it at the 36, and that's where they'll take over first down and 10. I'm going to go ahead and turn the page on my score sheet here.
Yeah, at that point, probably would have been a good idea to let it go out, either force the re-kick or take the yards on it. But Danny Durden did a good job of not bobbling the ball. He got his hands around it, went out of bounds.
Yep.
Hey, we got the ball. Here we go.
And that oblong spheroid just seems to take some funny hops. And if it happened to bounce back in bounds, then it's a live ball, and it's anybody's. Too wide to the near side for the Dragons. Riley in the backfield behind Christian Krogan. First and 10 for the Dragons from the 36. Krogan straight ahead to Riley, able to fight through a couple of tacklers, and he'll pick up about 3 yards on first down up to the 39.
Being down 28 points is going to put pressure on you, obviously, to get a score. It's never, again, here I am stating the obvious, never good to be down this much. But you want to put at least a score on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to get skunked. Again, same formation, too wide to the near side. Riley in the backfield behind Krogan. Second down and about 6. Quick pitch to the outside to Geringer, and nowhere to go that time as he's cut down in the backfield. And I believe that tackle was Rowan Minnick, 6'2", 200-pound defensive back, crashing up into that line. And the Dragons haven't demonstrated the ability to throw over the top tonight, so those defensive backs can really key on the run.
Yeah.
And that's what they've been doing so far, as Dragons now looking at a 3rd down and 8 from the 38. Krogan under center, too wide to the far side this time. Here's the snap. Straight ahead to Riley. Fights through again. A couple of tackles. Flag comes in. And Riley picks up, we'll call it 3 if we're going by the far side, 4 if we're going by the near side. See whose opinion is going to win out here. And it's a face mask against Shawnee Mission South.
So the outcome of this game is likely decided by now, but what's working for him is that run up the middle, the push from the offensive line, and the strong running from Riley. I think the Dragons need to stick with that and put one in the end zone.
And knowing that you've been successful at that is something that you can take forward with you and build off of. Same formation here for the Dragons. Too wide to the far side. Riley in the backfield behind Krogan under center. Double tight. They'll put Derringer in motion. Again, straight ahead to Riley across midfield. And he'll again have about 3, maybe 4 yards. And that's a stingy spot. And the far side official had it at midfield. Now they'll move it up to the 49 of Shawnee Mission South. Still stingy in my opinion, but brings up a 2nd down and 7 for the Dragons.
This is working for the Dragons right now. Keep getting nasty, keep running it down their throat.
Just inside Raider territory. Much tighter formation this time. Straight ahead to Riley. He's got a lane. He breaks through. And he's into the defensive backfield, into that 2nd and 3rd level of the defense, and finally ridden down inside the 40 at about the 38-yard line. And it'll be a 1st down for the Dragons. There it is.
It's amazing
Off tackle.
What getting down 28 points, how upset that can make a man. And Riley is running angry.
Ball spotted at the Raider 37. Dragons have it 1st and 10 from there. Call that a gain of 8 yards that time for Riley. Solid run. And Pittsburgh staying with this double tight set. Just going to ground and pound. Fake the handoff. Now Krogan thought about the pitch and kept it. Probably a wise decision by Christian that time. And Derringer had better pitch relationship with him, but there were lots of jerseys out there. The Dragons did not have the numbers on the outside, so Krogan just tried to get what he could. He ended up losing a couple of yards back to the 39. It'll be 2nd down and 12 from there.
With our fortunes the way they've gone on those pitch outs like that, not sure that would have been the move to make. And like you said, the Raiders were all on the outside and waiting for it.
So 2nd and long for the Dragons from the 39. Put a man in motion again, and again the handoff straight ahead. And that,
Dawson Hall.
Yeah, it was Dawson Hall that time. 5'9" senior, 195 pounds. Giving Riley a bit of a breather. 8 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Dragons still trailing 28-0, but they are driving here, but they're looking at a 3rd down and long from the 36.
Stick with what's working for you.
Twins to the far side this time for Pittsburgh. Derringer in motion. Krogan's going to keep it again. Has a little seam, spins out of a tackle forward across the 30 and inside the 25, and he'll have another Pittsburgh 1st down.
That spin move works so well for him. He's able to get around and get those few extra yards to get that 1st down. The Dragons are showing life. They're angry.
Call it a gain of 11 on the play. And this is their best drive so far of the night.
Absolutely.
And that's what you want to see on your first drive in the 2nd half, coming out of the locker room. And they're mad about the score. They could be mad that the pregame graphic spelled Pittsburgh with an H. I mean, there's so many things to take offense at that these guys should not be short on motivation. Timeout on the field. Dragons want to talk it over. And that'll stop the clock. 7:02 left to play, 3rd quarter. We'll take a quick break as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Dragons trailing by 4 scores, but driving. We'll have that finish of this drive coming up right after this on Pittsburgh Sports Live. Welcome back. 7 minutes to play, third quarter. Dragons trailing the Shawnee Mission South Raiders 28-0. The Dragons have it, first down and 10. They've been driving. 3 first downs on this drive. They have it, first and 10 at the Shawnee Mission South 25-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the far side, double tight for the Dragons with Riley in the backfield behind Christian Krogan. Krogan just picked up a first down with his feet. This handoff straight ahead to Riley, driving, and the bus going to pick up about 6 or 7 yards there, and I call him the bus because he took about 10 guys for a ride there.
And he's been doing that the whole game.
It'll bring up a second down and call it 4. Good 6-yard gain by Riley on that first down.
As slippery as the Raiders have been running the ball, Riley has been mean.
Yeah.
You know, like in the best sense of the word, obviously, but he's getting the job done.
He has a kind soul, but he's running angry. Ball rests at about the 19-yard line. Dragons need the 15 for a first down. Riley with it, working off the left side, and he went right between the guard and the tackle. And he has enough for the first down up to, let's call it the 13.
I've said it several times now already, but the Dragons' offensive line, they're imposing their will most of the time against this Raider defensive line.
Gain of 6 again for Riley. 12 yards on his last 2 carries. Under 6 minutes to play, third quarter. Dragons with their best opportunity to put some points on the board of the night. Krogan under center, lone back in the backfield is Riley. The twin wide receivers to the near side this time. Meadows on the outside, the handoff goes straight ahead to Riley, breaks through, across the end zone, touchdown. Dragons, and they break the ice with 5.5 to play, third quarter. The lead is now 22 as Dragons try and cut it here with the point after attempt. And they bring Bruade out. They're just going to go for the 1.
The goose egg is off the table.
I wonder if you think Rueda could be probably one of the biggest kickers in the state of Kansas. I mean, he's not a small guy.
No, I mean, yes, I agree with you. No, he is not a small guy.
I mean, if you're returning a kick and the kicker hits you and it's Rueda, you may not like that. That point after attempt is blocked. It's been that kind of night for the Dragons, but they do get on the board. They trail it 28-6, 5:36 to play, third quarter. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
Welcome back to Shawnee Mission South High School, Overland Park, Kansas. Dragons just got on the board with a 13-yard touchdown run by Malcolm Riley to cut the lead to 22. The point after attempt was blocked, and we have a score update for you from Frontenac tonight. Colgan Panthers in that rivalry game down there in southeast Kansas lead Frontenac 29-7 with a minute left to play in the third quarter, and it was a 10-7 game, but man, Colgan's really opened it up in that third quarter, and they now have a pretty comfortable lead over the Raiders. the Dragons wish they had a comfortable lead over these Raiders, but they're trailing by 22 as Rueda set to kick it away. Trey West and Xavion Hollinger back to receive for Shawnee Mission South. Hollinger drills his own player. That might be our hit of the game, JJ. And then Hollinger spinning around and finally drugged down at about the 25. And that was quite the collision.
That was.
That's what you get for blocking for me, buddy. It's a game of collisions. 5:28 to play, third quarter. Shawnee Mission South with it, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This will be their first possession of the second half.
I want to see if the defense takes some of the energy that the offense gave them from getting that score and puts it out here and gets us a turnover or at least a 3 and out.
Well, some of them are the same guys, so
that's
they
true.
couldn't help but carry it over. Powell back in the game at quarterback for the Raiders. 5 wide in this set. Powell quickly near side. Pass is caught by Luke Black, and he'll have a first down up to the Shawnee Mission, I want to say 41. And we'll see where the official spot is. It'd be the 38. I gave him forward progress on his roll across the ground.
He was chased out of bounds there by Cortland Jones. Still, our defensive scheme in the backfield is still a little too soft, and they're finding those open spots way too often.
Gain of 13 on the play, 1st and 10 for Shawnee Mission South from the 38. Again, here's Washington, and this time the Dragon defense does a good job of getting there in numbers and forcing him back. And you look at Washington, and he's just a thick dude. Sturdy base, one of those guys just hard to get to the ground because he's not far off the ground already,
No, he's not. He's able to get his pads low, and he's able to run through arm tackles, which we've seen tonight a lot.
Quick with that spin. I mean, it makes it real hard on the defenders. Pistol formation here for Powell. Back to pass, getting pressured. Now he's going to run with it, drug down from behind. And the Dragons get there defensively, but not before Powell's able to pick up a couple yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 8. Let's see where they have it marked. They mark it at the 41, so we'll call it a gain of 3. We'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
As long as you can keep them at 3 yards each time,
right, yeah.
You're going to be all right.
That's right. Unless they go for it on 4th down.
Good point, which we've seen.
Yeah. 3.5 to play, third quarter. Dragons trying to get a stop here on 3rd down and long. 5 wide this time for Shawnee Mission South. Screen pass to Washington. It's been there all night, and it's there again as he throws off a defensive back. Derringer tried to bring him down, and Washington not today. And he fights forward for a Raider 1st down into Dragon territory at about the 45.
That's a tough play to defend when you're on the defensive line and you make it through like that. And what they say, you've got your ears pinned back, right? You're going after the quarterback. You think you're going to get him, and then he just hops up and tosses it right over your head like that to a waiting receiver who's able to get a big gain. That's tough. That is super tough for the defense to defend.
1st and 10 at the Dragon 45. We'll call that a gain of 14 on the screen pass. Now Powell lined up in the gun with Washington. 4 wide in this set for the Raiders. Powell back to pass, looking now, scrambling. Couldn't go to his first option. He's having to go down the list, and that one falls at the feet, incomplete, intended for DeBon. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Stops the clock, 2:40 left to play, third quarter. Dragons trailing it 28-6.
The way DeBon's played tonight, I'm a little surprised he didn't dive for it with one hand and just bring it down.
Catch it in his teeth. Yeah. Well, they're just out there trying to prove they're human. We're not playing AI tonight. These are actual humans. 3 wide this time. DeBon lines up as a traditional tight end. Powell in the gun with Washington. They'll put a man in motion. That's West. Here's the snap. West gets it on the end around, makes a man miss in the backfield, and the Dragons finally bring him down for a loss on the play back to the 46. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 11.
Cortland Jones made the tackle there. It was broken up by the play was broken up a little bit by the defense, kind of turned it back, and Jones is able to make the tackle on the back side of that play.
Well, I missed something with my stats here, JJ.
Impossible.
Incredibly possible. More than likely, actually. 3 wide this time, 3rd down and 11 for Shawnee Mission South. Powell in the pistol. He'll take the snap. Back looking to pass, going to put one up in the air. Dragons don't get their head around, but at the last second knocked away by Cortland Jones Jr. Man, he watched the eyes of the receiver, and when he looked back for that ball, Jones stuck his hand in there and able to break that one up. And it'll bring up 4th down and long, and we'll see if the Raiders are going to punt this one away or if this is just a designed run coming up here for DeBon.
Jones has done a good job of sticking to his man. When they're in that man defense like that, he does a good job. Even on the touchdown score that they had in the corner of the end zone earlier, he was on it. It just, the quarterback did a great job of hitting the back shoulder of his receiver, and Jones wasn't able to quite get turned in time to make a play on the ball.
Well, one thing the Dragons do have, and we talked about it earlier, is speed, and you're not just going to run by these defensive backs, and I think that's what Powell was counting on that time, and Jones Jr. just stride for stride with the receiver, and although he did not get his head around, he didn't make contact with the receiver, made a play on the ball,
yes, he did.
And just really good play that time by Cortland Jones Jr., and now maybe the Dragons get the ball back here if they can get a stop on this.
Yeah.
It's weird to say get a stop on this punt, but that's been the situation tonight.
DeMars Partiu is a little slow to get up in the defensive secondary there. He's over on the sideline now. He did get off on his own, so I'm sure he'll be back in the next play or two.
Malachi Meadows back to return the punt if there is one. Here's the snap, DeBon, and he's going to pooch it. And it takes a Shawnee Mission South hop to the 30-yard line. The Dragons will have it there, 1st down and 10, as they didn't want to kick it to Meadows, and didn't. All right, we'll take a quick break. 1:47 left to play, 3rd quarter. Dragons trail it at 28-6, but they got the ball back. See what the offense can do on the other side of the break. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburgh.
Oh, hey, we're back. Look at that. Dragons have it, 1st down and 10 at the 30-yard line. Christian Krogan under center. They'll put a man in motion. That's, who was that? That was Christian Patrick, I believe.
That was Riley.
Oh, that was Riley?
Yep.
And the run ahead for 4 yards. And Riley picks up 4 yards there on 1st down. Oh, I was looking for the motion man, not the ball carrier, but Riley picks up 4. Second down and 6 from the 34. Dragons looking for some more points, just scored on their last drive. Riley looking for a block, and he's going to get drugged down, but man, that looked like that was going to be a loss of 2. It ended up being a gain of 1 for Riley, so sets up a 3rd down and a long 5. Actually, 5 exactly, as Dragons have it at the 35 and need to reach the 40 for a 1st down. Big 3rd down for Pittsburgh High right here. Under a minute to play, under half a minute to play. 3rd quarter. It's likely to be the final play of this period. Krogan rolling out, looking downfield. He's going to throw it up. Has a man. It's Meadows at midfield. Makes a man miss and picks up an extra 5 yards. And that's a good play for the Dragons. Their best looking pass play of the year. Well, no, that's second best. That's a silver medal.
Right.
Malachi's touchdown last week was the best looking one.
Right.
That was crisp. That ball was on a rope from Christian Krogan. And Meadows able to make a man miss on the outside. A big first down for the Dragons. They have it 1st and 10 at the Shawnee Mission South 46.
Malcolm Riley was able to pick up the block in the backfield that really set that up and gave Krogan time to make that pass down the line.
Hand off to Riley, again working off that left side, and they've done a good job of opening up a gap between that left guard and left tackle on that left side of that Dragon offensive line. Again, Riley gashes them a little bit there, and it'll be a Dragon first down up to the Raider 36. Gain of 10, and that'll do it for the third quarter. 1 quarter left to play. Dragons trailing it by quite a bit, as they trail Shawnee Mission South 28-6. We'll take a quick break and be back with fourth quarter action from here in Overland Park. You're watching Purple Dragon football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Welcome back to Overland Park, Kansas. Dragons looking at a first down and 10 at the Shawnee Mission South 36-yard line. Krogan with the snap. Christian rolling far side, looking downfield. He's going to let it fly way over the head of his intended receiver, was Malachi Meadows, and I think there might have been some miscommunication there, as it looked like Meadows cut his route off, and then Krogan threw the deep, and somebody zigged and they should have zagged.
Sure. I think there was a lane there. If Krogan would have tucked it and ran with it, I think we could have picked up some pretty good yardage and made it at least a little closer for our second down. But when the pass play is called, sometimes you focus on that.
Well, second down and 10 for the Dragons. Too wide to the far side. Riley in the backfield, and there's movement on the offensive line. And that's going to back the Dragons up 5 as Mason Benson, a little bit of premature movement there. And now set up a second down and long at the 41 for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and Partee comes back in. Obviously, whatever it was that was ailing him, he is back in action.
All better. Krogan under center. Again, too wide to the far side. They'll put a man in motion. Here's the snap ahead with Riley. And the Raiders there waiting for that, as Riley will pick up 3 or 4. But now it's a third down and long for the Dragons. 3rd and 12 from the 38.
One of the few occasions where one man was able to bring down Riley.
Well, he was one of 4 who had a chance at it. Well, a gain of 3 sets up a 3rd and 12. Ball rests at the 38 of Shawnee Mission South. Dragons come out just too wide this time. Here's the snap, straight ahead with Riley again, and Shawnee Mission South kind of doing a better job of just muddling up that space there in the middle of their defense and making it a little bit harder for the Dragons to make some hay there, and it brings up a 4th down and 9 at the Raider 35. Well, Malcolm Riley's going to sleep well tonight, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he certainly deserves a nice sleep.
Three wide this time for the Dragons. Krogan under center. Here's the snap. Rolling near side. He's got some time. Throws downfield. Tipped. And incomplete. Trying to get it to Meadows.
Slipped a little bit on the turf.
Yeah, and a good play on the outside by Corey Grant, the defensive back, 5'6", 145-pound senior, able to get a hand in there and poke that one away from Malachi Meadows. And the Dragons turn it over on first down. Or, I'm sorry, turn it over on downs. It'll be first down and 10 for Shawnee Mission South from their own 35. Powell in at quarterback for the Raiders. They line up 4 wide. Powell with the snap. Handoff to Washington. Spins out of one, but Dragons had about 4 or 5 white jerseys there, able to bring him down in the backfield for a loss of 2 back at the 33. I think that's one of the first times we've seen Washington lose yards tonight. And it was a community effort by the Dragons.
Certainly. And that's what it's going to take to bring him down.
Teamwork.
There is no I.
There is if you misspell it. Powell in the pistol. Looking. Quick throw to the outside to Drake DeBon, and he's across the 40 to about the 42. And that'll set up a 3rd and manageable at the 41. Raiders need to reach the 45 for a first, so 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Mason Benson able to basically just jump on top of DeBon and ride him into the ground.
Oh. Call it a gain of 8 on the play. Powell will remain in the pistol, trips to the far side this time. Luke Black, the lone wide receiver on the near side, and there's a timeout on the field as the Raiders and head coach Nick Foster want to talk it over. 9 minutes to play in the game. Dragons trailing at 28-6. Let's go ahead and step away for 30 seconds, and we'll be back here watching Dragon football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
JJ and I playing Name That Tune with the Shawnee Mission South Pep Band. That was Soul Finger by Booker T and the MGs. Now Powell in the shotgun, 4 wide in this set. They'll put DeBon briefly in motion, now into his pattern. Quick pass to the outside. Oh, almost picked off. But
wow.
Good job by the Dragon defender on that play. That was Ashton Bowder.
Yes, sir.
Got in there, 5'9", 175-pound junior. Out of his linebacker spot, got a hand on that one and knocked it down. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 4. And if you're Dragons here, I wouldn't count on them punting this ball away. I would mark DeBon like he's a halfback. That's just me, though.
We've seen it.
I went to the school of once bitten, twice shy. If my wife was here, she could tell me what band that was. I think it was Poison, right? Kick away from DeBon, end over end affair, arcing out of bounds, and it's going to go out. We'll see where the ball is spotted. And he's still walking. I'm going to mark it out at the Dragon 42. That's where Pittsburgh will take over, 1st down and 10.
Kind of had things on a roll. Once again, though,
Dragon defense forces another punt, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're right. I mean, nobody's given up. You can hear the coach of the Raiders is getting upset with their team now. That's a positive sign for us.
Like to see the negativity on
Yes,
the near
sir.
sideline. Krogan under center, too wide to the far side for the Dragons. Whistles, and this one's going to be stopped before it starts. And I didn't see a flag. Did you see a flag?
No, I didn't.
Maybe this is just like a point of parliamentary procedure.
Yeah, they did.
Must be recognized by the chair
Right,
before you can make a
yes.
motion.
That play had attitude.
Which must
They didn't
then
want to
be
do that.
approved by 2/3. Well, I'm sure the Dragons are probably pretty glad that that one got the old-fashioned do-over treatment. Bunch formation this time by the Dragons. One wide receiver. They put Derringer in motion, and it goes straight ahead with Riley. And both teams need to be careful not to get tangled up in some extracurriculars after the play. But that's a gain of about 4 that time for Riley.
Now, the Raider defense on that one, they had everyone up in the box. They were waiting for it, and it was exactly what they thought it was going to be.
And that's when you throw. So it brings up a 2nd down and 6 for the Dragons from the 46. Again, Derringer in motion. Krogan back to pass, comes over the middle, has a man. The catch made across the 45 into Raider territory. That's Cole Hayden from his tight end spot making the catch for the Dragons. Took a shot for it, but first down Pittsburg High into Raider territory, and another good-looking pass play here in the second half from the Dragons.
Yeah, Christian Krogan doing a good job of getting some passes down there. Cole Hayden's definitely got the size. He's got the hands and the speed. Keep using him.
Gain of 12 on the play.
Flag on the play there. Like illegal motion, probably.
Yeah, it is. Legal procedure against the Dragons. They're going to step this one off. It'll cost Pittsburg High 5 yards back to the 47. It'll be 1st and 15 from there.
It's kind of been the story of the night. Every time we get something really rolling well, not every time, but the majority of the time, I guess, we've had something that's went wrong and set us back. Let's see if we can recover from this.
1st and 15 from the 47 for Pittsburg High. 7.5 minutes to play in the game. Dragons playing for pride here, trailing 28-6. Krogan back to pass, gonna let it fly. What the heck? Lobs it up. Oh, Meadows got a hand on it, but he was pushed in the chest, and
for
most jurisdictions they call that pass interference, but not her.
In our neck of the woods.
Yeah. Law don't go around here, JJ.
Wow.
So now back to 2nd and 15 for the Dragons. That looked pretty clear to me with the defender extending his hand into the chest of the receiver with the ball in the air. But some harm, no foul. 2nd down and 15 now for the Dragons from the 47. Man in motion now. They're going to run option to the far side. You know Krogan's not pitching this. He tucks it, and it'll drive ahead to the original line of scrimmage at about the 42, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 10 from there. So they made up for the penalty yards.
And it's time for the Dragons to keep staying aggressive. Keep throwing the ball down the field. Yeah, and when you're not, keep feeding it to your running backs up the middle. The outside plays, the pitches, they're not working.
You know, I quoted Larry Garman about the 2 out of 3 things when you pass, but in this situation, a deep ball that's intercepted, if you can make a tackle, is no worse than a punt.
Correct.
And Krogan will play action. Now back to pass, lobs this one up into traffic over the head of Meadows, nearly picked off, but it falls incomplete, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 10 for Pittsburg High.
Krogan definitely pressured there, hearing the footsteps. Had to get rid of the ball. Thankfully, you know, it fell without landing in the hands of the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, and that's sometimes the benefit of throwing it up the sideline like that, where if nobody gets it, it's out of bounds. Dragons going to go for it on 4th and 10. What the heck?
Going to be a Bear, be a Grizzly.
That's right. Krogan under center. 3 wide for the Dragons. He's going to roll near side, being pursued, get some blocks, And now he's going to be swallowed up by Drake DeBon in the backfield, and that was a delayed blitz by DeBon from his linebacker spot, and he was just waiting for that bootleg. And the moment that Krogan left the pocket, DeBon had him in his sights and tracked him down out in the open field, and that'll turn it over on downs at midfield, where Shawnee Mission South will take over.
Raiders don't seem overly interested in switching up their personnel.
That's an academic exercise right now for them. You're just working on your execution, your timing, and so Hirsch still in it, is back in at quarterback, and now whistles, and they'll blow this one dead before it even starts. And I think maybe Coach Latimer called timeout. He's off the Pittsburg sideline out onto the field. So
I'm not sure, but it definitely looked like the Raider
looks,
had some early movement.
He certainly looks like he's got questions. The man with questions. And now he's – I don't think he called that timeout. He's being charged with it. And nobody likes being charged for something that they didn't want, you know?
No.
And I can feel that.
I don't know exactly how that works when you don't call a timeout and they just assess one to you.
That's often how I feel every time I get a bill from a streaming service.
What? Yeah.
Huh? I didn't even watch that. All right. 5 wide this time for the Raiders. Hirsch alone, empty backfield. Now he's going to tuck it and take off, and he's got some room out near a first down. Makes a couple men miss, and now slides. And he'll have a Raider first down into Dragon territory up to about the, call it the 32, and that was a heck of a quarterback keeper that time by Hirsch, and you can see he's shifty back there.
Yeah, it looked like he was flushed out of the pocket by our defense.
Yeah, he did a good job once he was flushed.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why, you know, a lot of defenses, when you have that dual threat quarterback, half of your plan is to contain him in the pocket.
Right.
And that time, Hirsch able to get out and get something done with his feet. Now, 1st and 10 at the 32, a gain of 28 on the play. Pass is complete on the near side. That'll be a gain of about 7 yards. Got that one completed to Luke Black. Ball rests at the Dragon 26, 5 wide again this time. I think the Dragons are having a hard time matching up with this 5 wide personnel. And there's an end around handoff coming back the other way. And tackled from behind, tripped up was DeZavion Hollinger. And Hollinger ran about 25 yards and picked up about 10 there.
Is that Landon Profit with the tackle there?
And there's a flag down at about the 20-yard line. See what this one's about. And it is going to be a hold against Shawnee Mission South, so that'll back the Raiders up. And fortunate for the Dragons that somebody blocked a little too well. So that'll erase that carry by Hollinger.
Yeah, good tackle by Profit in the open field to bring him down.
A little over 5 minutes to play in the game. Dragons trailing 28-6, trying to stop Shawnee Mission South here. Hollinger with it again, heads for the sideline, and the Dragons string him out and drive him out of bounds after a short gain up to about the 31. It'll bring up a 3rd down and long from there. Hirsch in the pistol. Washington in the backfield with him as he's back into the game. Now Hirsch going to let it fly deep. Has a man. Oh, it's caught at the 4-yard line. A diving catch.
Oh, my goodness.
And what a play by Trey West. And I've poked my fun at the fact that he's 5'7", but great hands on that play and a way to go all the way down and get that ball off the turf. And good concentration that time by West to haul that one in. It sets up the Raiders' 1st and goal at the Pittsburg 5.
Now, this is a case where if he would have been 5'8", he may not have
may
not have made it down.
That 5'7" helps you when you're digging one off the grass.
Yeah.
But the opposite of a jump ball. Now Hirsch will line up in the pistol. And they'll run straight ahead, and just short of the goal line is, I believe that was Washington. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was writing. That was a total guess, but.
No, well, you got it.
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah.
Well, I got a 1 in 11 chance. So.
A good broadcaster doesn't know sometimes
right.
why he says what he says.
Just go by the feel of it. It felt like. Yeah, they're going to stick with, I believe, 4 wide this time, or are they going to bring, they'll bring DeBon in to the wingback slot. Now they'll put him in motion to the far side. The snap, handoff straight ahead to Washington, and he drives into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Raiders lead it 34-6, pending the extra point. These LED lights, man. Every game's a disco. It's kind of a methodical attack that time by Shawnee Mission South. Big play of the drive was a 28-yard scamper by Hirsch.
Huge play.
And the kick is up and good. 3:56 left to play. Dragons trailing it 35-6. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Welcome back to Overland Park, Kansas. Got a final on that Colgan Frontenac game as the Panthers defeat the Raiders 29-13. Colgan now 2-0 with wins over Girard and Frontenac. And I was joking with JJ off air that you pretty much just hanging out. You've already beat your 2 big rivals. Yeah.
I think the Panthers may have other ideas in store, but
they've been known to go to the postseason every once in a while. So.
Yeah.
But a big win tonight for the boys in blue at Hutch Field, and the Dragons won't be back to Hutch Field for 2 more weeks because we have another road game next week on the road at Labette County in Altamont. As this kick away, fielded by Meadows, out across the 30 to about the 33 as Malachi gives the Dragons pretty good field position to start this one. Just 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to play for the Dragons, and
they've been able to work on their pass attack some.
Yeah, and it's
obviously Malcolm Riley is a heck of a runner. Dawson Hall got to show off some stuff tonight, so we're able to work on some things, especially in a game. Hey, the grand scheme of things, this isn't going against us necessarily. We want to win it, but it doesn't have playoff implications.
Right. Derringer lines up on the near side. Krogan under center. Riley in the backfield behind him. Put a man in motion. Now Krogan running option. Pitches it out. And good job of staying in your lanes and marking a man on the outside by Shawnee Mission South, as Cortland Jones Jr. really nowhere to go with it once he got that pitch from Krogan. And to be fair, Krogan had nowhere to go with it, and that's why he pitched it out. And just good defense that time by the Raiders, and they had to kind of be expecting the Dragons to try that option again here on this drive. 3 wide now for Pittsburg High. Krogan under center, 2nd down and 10. Snap, Krogan rolling, far side, looking downfield. He's going to go to his short man. That is Landon Profit. Makes that catch for a gain of about, call it, let's see where they spot it. Call it 5, maybe 6. Call it 6.
No huddle, lining up quick on him.
Back to pass, little screen.
Let's go.
And this is Riley, and he'll get out of bounds, stops the clock, and picks up a 1st down for the Dragons as he's out to the 46. Stops the clock with 3:01 left to play in the game. Dragons working on their 4-minute drill here. For their 3-minute, 30-some second drill. 3 wide this time. Krogan with the snap. He's going to roll near side again. Riley with a block for him. That pass partially deflected and ends up intercepted. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. Max Bush couldn't haul it in. And the interception made by Trey West.
When it rains, it pours, and it's definitely pouring right now.
Well, he's 5'7", but he's big enough to go up and get that one.
Yes, he was.
And that is the 4th turnover of the night on the Dragons that they have committed. And that will give the Raiders the ball back in really good field position with some time to work. 2:53 on the clock. And
you know, that's a shame too, because that short passing game was starting to have an effect.
Yep.
It's going to open up other stuff for the Dragons. And man, just
I think
those
I think his arm might have been hit when he was throwing. It didn't come out clean.
No, yeah, it definitely did not.
And so, Washington with it straight ahead. They have a new quarterback in the game, so you'd have to think that Washington's going to get it quite often. And finally, he's brought down on the outside, but not after picking up 20 yards on 1st down.
Meadows with the tackle. Is this Sugar Hill gang?
I think it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Showing off your old school hip hop chops.
I was steeped in the old school hip hop.
Weren't we all? It's just part of growing up in Kansas, right?
That's right. Mean streets.
That's right. The new quarterback in the game is Wyatt Lenz, 5'6", 150-pound sophomore. And there's a timeout on the field. I didn't see who took it. Did you see who took it?
Yeah,
I think it was Shawnee Mission South.
The Raiders took it.
Yeah, they have 1 left. We're going to stay right here with 2:11 left to play in the game. Well, I'm dreaming of some Casey's Pizza on the way home, guys. I don't know about you.
I mean, I've never turned it down.
No.
I mean, when I
it's not something you say no to.
No. I can hear it calling my name.
Yeah.
JJ.
That's right.
I'm waiting for you here in Pleasanton.
Just a short 45 minutes away. Back underway. 1st down and 10 for Shawnee Mission South from the Pittsburg, call it 25. This is a new back in the game as well. Get to know your roster here. That's Daniel Cardoza, 5'6", 150-pound senior. And he'll pick up about 7 on 1st down as The Raiders starting to dig into that bench a little bit, get some younger kids into the game, get them some experience, although Cardozo's a senior. He's a young senior, JJ. Young at heart.
Yes.
Lenz in the pistol. And this handoff.
Whoa, there we go.
Goes to Cardozo. Nowhere to go that time as Dragons blow that one up in the backfield. A loss of about 3 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7. Or a long 6.
Logan Mahan.
Yeah, digging into your roster too, aren't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I am a little bit, yeah. Kind of
Shawnee
suplex
Mission
thing
South
there.
has to have 50 cheerleaders. That's 100 pom-poms, JJ.
Let me do the math on that.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
That is.
And straight ahead with Cardozo, and he'll pick up maybe a yard. It'll bring up 4th down and 6. And they're going to have DeBon come out and run for this one.
Oh.
Here's our 3rd string punter. And that's going to do it. That'll be the final play of the game as the Dragons fall to the Shawnee Mission South Raiders 35-6. And an even bigger margin than last year's matchup between these two teams down in Pittsburg. As the Dragons fell in that one 33-15. But yeah, I would say that the bright spots you take away from this one, JJ, are that the passing game showed some improvement.
Yes.
Down the stretch in this one, and looked like the Dragons got out of this one pretty healthy.
Yeah, I agree. And Malcolm Riley, once again, proven that he can run angry. And the offensive line for the Dragons pushed some really big guys around tonight. So I'm going to take that as a positive as well.
Well, yeah, it was. You got to work. Get some positives out of a 35-6 game, but there were some. If you watch last week's game, you watch this week's game, there's clear improvement there for the Dragons, even though it doesn't show on the scoreboard. You're playing a much better opponent, and it showed here tonight, but Pittsburgh with some positives to take away from this, and hopefully roll that into next week when we travel down to Labette County to take on the Labette County Grizzlies in Altamont, as the Dragons have 3 consecutive road games to begin the season before returning to Hutch Field on September 26th to take on Fort Scott. And so Dragons with an opportunity to bounce back next week and build off of this loss here in Overland Park. But we'll step away for a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the post-game show. And since we don't have a hit of the game, we're going to call this the Vietti Auto Body and Alignment post-game show. Coming up here tonight from Overland Park, all that on the other side of the break. Dragons drop this one 35-6 to the Shawnee Mission South Raiders. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at bigironauctions.com. From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburgh.
Welcome back to the campus of Shawnee Mission South High School here in Overland Park. And the Dragons drop a tough one on the road here tonight to the Raiders, 35-6. And JJ and I were talking before the break about how you can see some improvement in what the Dragons are trying to do. It's just, man, there were a lot of weapons on the other side of the ball tonight for Shawnee Mission South. And by the time the Dragons got their offense rolling, they were down 4 scores. So it's you can ask Abraham Lincoln, 4 scores is a lot to be down, you know.
Yes, it is.
And the Dragons could not dig out of it tonight as they fall 35-6. And really the things that bit them were turnovers. They lost 3 fumbles in the first half, and then that interception in the second half, it's whatever. The game was out of reach at that point. Dragons throwing the ball more than they would probably traditionally like to.
Sure.
And, you know, just one of those plays where your quarterback's arm gets hit, ball didn't come out clean. It's anybody's ball, and the Dragons couldn't come up with it. But the first half fumbles, I think, are what's going to keep the coaching staff up tonight if it does. And those are things that they're going to try and get cleaned up before next week. The Dragons fall to 1-1 on the season. Shawnee Mission South, they improved to 1-1 on the season. And the Dragons getting set next week to travel to Altamont, the Paris of Labette County, to take on the Labette County Grizzlies, and we'll have that for you here on Pittsburgh Sports Live. That one will kick off at 7 p.m. Our coverage will start, pregame coverage will start at 6:30, and we'll have all that for you here on Pittsburgh Sports Live. And normally the coaches will, we ask they come up for interviews after the game. We don't expect Coach Latimer to make it up here tonight. First off, it's like a mile and a half from down there on the field up to this press box. You got to wait on the elevator and whatnot. But I'm sure he's wanting to talk to his team and work on some things with them and get them all set to head back to Southeast Kansas. And I'll tell you what, my mind's in the same place. I'm thinking about heading back to Southeast Kansas and via Casey's, get some pizza on the way, and hit the reset button for next week. Dragons, I said, back in action in Altamont next week, and then on the 26th, back home at Hutch Field to take on the Fort Scott Tigers, and that's a big rivalry match from days of old.
Oh, yeah.
And nothing better in Pittsburgh than to beat Fort Scott and vice versa. So those two teams are going to – it'll be a grudge match. And the Dragons, Labette County's played them reasonably tough the last couple of years, so that one should be a good one as well. And Altamont always kind of a hostile environment to go into for athletes and broadcasters. So we'll have that one for you, God willing, next week here on Pittsburgh Sports Live. And JJ, any closing thoughts?
Well, so for me, this just in, Drake DeBon is the real
good
deal.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, that guy's going to be good.
Quarterback.
And Hirsch looked good tonight.
Right, actually both
somebody's got to throw him the ball. And both Powell and Hirsch look good tonight. So a lot to be positive about if you're a fan of Shawnee Mission South. And I'm sure very few of you are, but they're going to have they've got some bright spots on their team for sure.
Washington, another one.
Oh, yeah, Washington played a heck of a game. Yeah. And you know, it's one of those things that they're going to play some tough opponents in Class 6A,
Yes.
but they look pretty good here tonight, and they come out with a 35-6 win. We'll step away for a quick break, come back, put a bow on this from here in Overland Park, Kansas. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburg Sports Live.
It's The Rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The Rush is why we need a plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues the Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings, chicken and noodles, and so much more. And of course, their delicious homemade pies. Dine in or carry out available. Chicken Annie's of Girard has the best value, flavor, and service in the area. Stop in soon or call for catering. 620-724-4090.
You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
When it comes to having your labs drawn, you have a choice of where to go. For 30 years, MagLab has focused on providing quality lab work that is accurate and timely. MagLab's walk-in service typically gets you in and out in under 5 minutes with same-day results. Locally owned and operated, MagLab takes most insurances, including Medicaid, and has historically had the lowest out-of-pocket prices. So when it comes to having labs drawn, don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At GN Bank, we're
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Welcome back one final time to Shawnee Mission South High School, Overland Park, Kansas. Dragons drop a tough one tonight on the road, 35-6 to the Shawnee Mission South Raiders, and turnovers the story for the Dragons. Lots of things to clean up, but some improvement in the passing game tonight for the Dragons. And it's strange, JJ, that what worked so well for them in Emporia last week was kind of a trouble point for him this week.
Yeah.
And what was trouble last week looked better this week. So some work in practice to do for the Dragons on ball security in the option, but the passing game looking better. The defense was reasonably solid. It's just they were going up against a lot of weapons. And some stuff to work on, but some positives to take away from this for the Dragons. And next week on the road against a familiar opponent in Altamont at Labette County High School. And Labette won their game week 1. Don't have a score for them tonight, but they've beaten Parsons already in a rivalry game. But they're going to have their work cut out for them, I would imagine, against the Dragons coming up next week. But that's going to do it for us here in Overland Park. For J.J. Carlinger, Michael Kissel running the camera and the computer for us tonight, and Dominic Santiago in the booth providing adult supervision. And we're all glad you tuned in. Thanks for watching Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
From the gridiron to the hardcourt, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.